Good morning, everyone. I am here with the incomparable Jill Tracey, and I'm going to do our self-introductions for those of you who may not know who we are or know who I am at least. My name is Starrick Smith, and I am the creator of thehungryblackman.com, as well as the co-host of this new amazing morning show with Jill Tracey, The Fresh Squeeze. So Jill, I'll let you do your intro and then we'll get into today's conversation.
My name is Jill, J to the ILL, with all odes to Jehovah. Jill Tracey. Here, in those of you who are not familiar with South Florida or me or all that, I am a radio diva. You can call yourself a diva when you've done anything more than 20 years. Okay. That is what it's owed to. I've been on the air down here for a long time on Hot 105 and 99 Jams. I started on WMBM, and now I am purveying the web. As everybody has told me for years, you know, it's the next wave. You got to be here, there, and everywhere. So here I am with that one over. Oh wait, that one over there. That one over there.
So guys, we're gonna this is our sneak peek. We are going to have a very integrated show every morning, Monday through Friday, and we have a special guest next week with Udonis Haslam and his business manager. We also are going to have Spectacular from Pretty Ricky on, so we're going to be doing some really great things and sharing.
You know, I've heard good things about him.
Spec, yeah,
what they call me. But yes, I've heard a lot of really great things about Spectacular. So.
No, and he's doing some great things with entrepreneurship. Yeah. So we're going to have some really great conversations with some great guests on the show. And so today we wanted to open up the conversation with a video that Jill had a very hard time watching. I'm sure everyone, if you've seen the video, it is going to be difficult to watch again, but it's going to start off our conversation. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to show the video and then we're going to get into the conversation.
It's like 5 minutes long, so I'm going to get my coffee.
What's up, my man? Hey, what's up, man? You good? You don't need a ambulance or anything like that? Are you just tired? All right, man. I'll move my car. Just pull somewhere and take a nap. All right. All right. Hey, you have your license on you real quick? Yeah. All right. Just relax the car. What are you you here for a visit or what's
I'm visiting.
Where are you visiting?
My mother's grave site.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
How long has she passed for?
It's been probably about a year and a half now, but
okay, I'm sorry to hear
my
that.
birthday's just passed and my girlfriend's birthday just passed, but I went to visit her and
yeah.
This when the asshole cop arrived.
Tonight and hey, this happened.
Right,
I say, babe, what's the scores?
Right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk this officer here for a minute, and then we'll be good to go. Okay?
Oh no problem.
All right, thank you, sir.
His energy when he got out the car and everything. His energy was off. Just negative.
Found him passed out in the parking lot. He's sitting here.
So he was in the drive.
Yeah, he's on. Car's on. Took me like 2 minutes to wake him up. Kept knocking. Opened the door. Shook him. Woke up super groggy. Got pretty good smell of alcohol beverage coming out of the car. Eyes are watery, glassy. Started his words. Wasn't sure where he was. And telling me he had one drink. He said earlier.
Tell me, I wasn't here, so can you tell me what happened before we got here?
I can just go home. I have my daughters there right now. My daughter's birthday was yesterday.
All right. Hold on, Mr. Brooks. Will you take a preliminary breath test for me? It's yes or no.
I don't want to refuse anything.
It's yes or no. It's completely up to you.
Yes, I will.
Okay. Just wait here while I grab it. What kind of drinks did you have?
I'm not sure. It's something she ordered. She said top shelf or whatever.
Top shelf what?
I'm not sure. It was, like I said, it was her birthday, and
You had about 1.5 drinks, but you don't remember what kind of drinks they were.
no, sir.
All right.
I really don't, Mr. Ross.
All right. I think you've had too much to drink to be driving. So put your hands behind your back for me. Yeah, put your hands behind your back. Hey, stop fighting. Stop fighting. Stop fighting. You're gonna get tired. You're gonna get tired. You're gonna get tired. Stop.
Come on, man.
Stop. You're gonna get tired.
Mr.
Hey,
Ross.
hands up.
Stop. Stop fighting.
Stop fighting. Hands off the taser. Stop fighting. Oh. I'm 63.
So, yeah, that was the video of the murder of Mr. Rayshad Brooks. And Jill and I are going to open up for comments here on your commentary on that. First of all, I knew once that officer got there that he was going to be an asshole. Like, his energy was off. He approached in this very, very authoritative, very demeaning manner. And like, that's what we've come to know, as all of us have like experienced a cop like that at some point in our lives. So I wanted to get Jill's thoughts on that, because there are, I'm sure Candace Owens and the Black conservatives are preparing their next video on talking about how he fought the cops and all this other stuff. So at the end of the day, this young man, 27 years old, lost his life at the hands of police officers. So, Jill, your thoughts on that? Your thoughts on that video?
Well, I think that it started. I want to know what happened between the time that, you know, the young man was drunk but still lucid enough to be yes sir, no sir. I thought that he was very measured, being as intoxicated as he was.
Sure.
Or started to be. However, just like all of the rest of them, you know, that we have been bearing witness to with much more frequency, his crime did not warrant death.
Yeah, at all. And so
he was shot back twice.
I'm trying to figure out, at the end of the day, one of the things that I just don't understand is that you have people who are believing that cops are somehow going to change their stance or mentality or philosophy simply because of the way that we're reacting to it. And these individuals, they're double downing on their
Exactly.
negativity. They're double downing on their whatever it is that they feel that creates this separation from them and who we are, and makes them in any way to be feared or to be just to be feared. You know, they're going to double down on that. I saw the other day a huge meeting of police officers in this circle, and I was at the red light and I had my window down, and it was crazy the stuff that the person in the middle of the conversation, in the middle of their little rally, was saying. And I apologize to any cops out there. I'm not saying this, but I had seen when I was younger, I literally saw a Klan rally in Stone Mountain, Georgia, and the formation of those cops, the way that they were like just motivating each other. It was really reminiscent of a Klan. It was reminiscent of that Klan meeting that I saw. It was very, very uncomfortable. And so, you know, looking at this and looking at what's happening, I think that I just think that people can be a bit naive thinking that these cops who have this mentality are going to stop or slow down in any way. I just don't see that happening.
No, I don't see it happening either. It's baked into the cake. I mean, when you think of, the police was really created to stop runaway slaves and to kill them and bring their bodies back as, as a deterrent for other slaves to run. We are not far from that. I mean, I think that when you build an institution on, these Black and brown people are the problem. They must be stopped at all costs, all the time, period. Right? That is the basis. And those who are attracted to police work, there are some good apples that I think that go into the work thinking I can be the balance of what this culture is. As we are seeing now, more and more are getting weary and are getting out of police work. But the idea of white supremacy is baked into the cake of the police, period.
And so there's a movement, right? There's a movement going around, Jill, that the term is defund the police, right? And that makes reference to, for those of you who don't know, defund the police simply means that in every municipality, every county government, the police has a very sizable amount of the budget, sometimes in many cases, 50% of the budget. And so because of that, folks are saying that dollars will be better spent in other areas that help to decrease or prevent crime. So I wanted to know your thoughts on that. So people who were commenting, I'm trying to show your comments. I can show them. So I wanted to know if you guys out there had an opinion on defunding the police, and we can sort of go in the conversation from there. So while you guys think on that, I'm going to show you a video of our Karen report. We're going to have a segment called the Karen report. But we want to show you our current Karen report, the Karen of the week so far. So I'm going to go to that so that we can have a conversation about defund the police, because these two things have a very, very interesting connection. So I'm going to show you guys this video real quick and just see the just complete ridiculousness of this woman.
Did you see this? I'm sorry. I'm going to send you this right now. Did you see what Valencia just put up?
I didn't.
Oh my God.
I'll show that right after you want me to show the video now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. Okay, now this woman, guys, is literally unsolicited, like bothering this guy who owns his own home, by the way. And let me show you guys this. All right, you ready?
Hi, I'm asking you if this is your property.
Why are you asking?
Because
it's private property.
Because it's private property,
So,
sir.
are you defacing private property, or is this your home? You're free to express your opinion.
No,
but not on people's property.
Okay.
absolutely.
Sure.
Just respectfully.
Sure.
So we're just saying, absolutely, your signs and everything, and that's good. This is not the way to do it.
Okay.
It's private property.
But if
Jesus Christ.
it was my property, this would be absolutely fine.
If it,
And you don't know if I live here or if this is my property.
we absolutely know. That's why we're asking.
Oh, really? Because you live here, right? You said so.
Because we know that this
These women just be
Oh.
lying.
Okay.
so
Then I suggest
Right.
call them
not
or
disagreeing with
call the
you.
police,
Why
or
don't you call the police?
because you're accusing me of a crime, correct?
What I'm asking you is why are you?
And I'm not
doing this?
answering it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So your choices are to call the cops if you believe I'm calling a crime, and I would more than be happy to talk to them.
Okay, thank you.
What's your name again?
I'm Lisa.
Lisa, what's your last name?
What is your name?
What's your name? I asked first, Lisa. What's your name, sir? What's your last name, sir?
What is your first name, sir?
I'm not answering. I'm not talking to you. You're talking to me. I'm asking you questions.
Well, we're not doing anything illegal.
Neither am I.
Yes, you are actually.
Really? Oh, okay. Well, then call the cops.
We will do so.
Lisa and Robert. I'll be right here.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Bye. And that, people, is why Black Lives Matter. That's Karen, and she's calling the cops because she knows the people who live here personally,
Not the Christian, not Bruce Jenner. That's funny.
So that was super, super angering to watch. I know that I've had that happen to me several times, and which is why I decided to move in the neighborhood that I'm in, because would never deal with that again. And so we're going to get into that. But you said something that V posted. You're talking about the
I tell you, the Black Lives Matter activist was found dead. Toyin, young sister. Valencia says, shouts out. I don't know if she's on, but y'all, they found this baby dead after she was out fighting for justice for Tony McDade. She was at all the actions she tweeted about being sexually assaulted, went missing. Now she's dead. I need a break from all of this. This one hurts, yo. Sleep well, Queen. Olu Watoyan Salu. I don't want to mispronounce her name, but that do you see it? Did you see what I sent you?
Yeah, I'm trying to show everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and you know what's really sad is that I don't know if there's a bit of misogyny in there, but what I don't like is the fact that when these things happen, it's like when black women die, it's just not broadcasted enough. It's not highlighted enough. I mean, I think George Floyd being the face of this thing is definitely something that needed to happen because you have a situation where someone's being murdered on live stream. However, you know, they're painting him. They tried to paint him in this very negative light, including folks like Candace Owens. But I think that when black women are murdered, you have Breonna Taylor, where I mean, this woman's literally just sleeping. I mean, this is so crazy to me. She's sleeping in her home, and we had a black woman here who in Miami who was killed by a Florida highway patrolman because he thought she was going to, I don't know, do what, because he wasn't in danger of being run over by her car. She was trying to flee. She was far away from him. You saw it in the video, and you had our own people, some people saying, well, you know, she was trying to run over the cop, and that dash cam footage or his body cam footage has not even been released, you know? So right here in South Florida, you know, we have these situations, and many times we don't follow up with them. You had Diamond Loving, who was attacked by that officer down south, and that guy's still on the force, right? So we have so many of these issues that are happening right here in South Florida, and these officers, none of them have been even fired. They're still on the force. And so I think
they're doing their job. You know what I'm saying? In the culture that they're in, they're doing their job. I was just watching New Day, you know, with Allison Camerata and John Berman was not there. Jim Sierra, whatever his name was on with him, and Stacey Abrams was on. First, they were talking about the latest case in Atlanta with Angela Rye, who really almost called her a bitch on the air. Yeah. And I was waiting for it. I was like, please, Angela, go there. And then they came back with Stacey Abrams, who just was, you know, infuriated at Allison Camerata's demeanor. Like, okay, but he didn't obey the police. She didn't say obey, but her whole tone and her whole delivery was, okay, but he didn't obey the police. And that parental way that others have feel like they have license to approach us is the beginning of the problem, and it's very hard to come back from the Karen. Like, what possessed you to think that you should stop and even talk to me? If you felt that way, then just call the police. Let me deal with them. With the brother, that the video you just played, the brother painting back Black Lives Matter on his house. You don't know who he is from Adam's House Cat. How dare you? What gives you the right? What do you think gives you the ability to stop and question somebody about what they are doing that has absolutely nothing to do with you, except for supremacy? That feeling of because I am white, I have the ability to question y'all, you black and brown people, for any reason, just because I am the authority in this country.
This is the other. This is. I'm going to show you right now why they feel that way. So this is the other Karen that was carrying on. We can literally do these every week because they're doing it every single week. So here's the other one.
Every damn day.
Here's the other one. And I don't know what this lady's problem was.
This is video of a woman going on a racist rant against Asian Americans. And apparently it's not the only incident like it. One person says the woman even assaulted her at a Torrance mall. Police know who she is, but they're having a hard time tracking her down, they say. CBS's Jeff Nguyen has more on the investigation.
I'm definitely still feeling angry. Like, who is allowing this person to still be on the streets?
Casey Lynn Salmonau is frustrated with authorities who haven't been able to track down 54-year-old Lena Hernandez, who's been captured on at least 2 viral videos unleashing racist rants.
Go back to whatever Asian country you belong.
The targets were 2 Americans of Asian descent at Wilson Park on Wednesday. Late today, Torrance police publicly identified Hernandez, who they say lives in Long Beach, but she has ties to Torrance. Even though one of the videos included Hernandez's license plate, investigators haven't been able to find her.
Really?
Troy City Attorney's Office, actually, as we speak. I don't know what sections there are. I don't. Because a lot of this might possibly not rise to the level of a crime, and yet some of it may.
She's not even trying.
Okay. Just stop there. It's just...
She was assaulted at the Del Amo Mall by Hernandez back in October. She says it happened in a restroom where there are no security cameras, but she took pictures on her phone as Hernandez walked away from the alleged attack.
The level of the commitment, very low. Because from the press conference, they just kept saying, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm going to leave that to the investigators who actually have all the evidence and all the information before them. I don't have all that information.
Salmonau believes that the videos are the reasons police called her back in months after she filed a police report.
Why do I have to retell my story
when
I have my file?
Police say another name for the suspect has been making its way through social media. That one is wrong. Investigators are asking for help to track down Lena Hernandez in Torrance.
Now, so this is crazy, right? So Lena Hernandez is a white Hispanic, and she's going over and fucking with the goddamn Chinese woman or whatever the Asian woman was. And so my thing is this. These other minorities are understanding that in Trump's America, like, it's almost worse than being black for them when it comes to microaggressions. Like, microaggressions for non-black minorities is like at an all-time high. And so I think it's so incredible that you have these big, like, this is why the defund police is so important. And this is my opinion, right? I am in total support of defunding the police, only because you have a situation where the woman that's the spokesperson for this department is literally telling the public that they can't find an old white Hispanic woman. Like, that's just crazy to me. Like, but you have the resources.
All you got to do is substitute that woman, that whatever Hernandez, for Shanika Johnson, and they would have found Shanika by now, and she'd be in custody. If I'm right, if I'm lying, comment. But you know that all this, oh, we can't find her, oh, we don't know. They would not be accepted by the community if that was a black woman, and they would talk about, oh, we can't find her. Really?
Someone said Melissa Davis said, more money needs to be put back into social services that provide support to the community. Too many mental health and lack of resource-driven situations are escalated and criminalized. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. And our social services are pieces of shit. Like, they are disrespectful. Many times when you go to receive social services, they remind you of how fucked up you are. So you go there, they treat you like shit. they ask you for all these embarrassing documents to prove how miserable your life is, and then they say it out loud. I've been in rooms where I've seen people with whether it's South Florida workforce applying for jobs, and they're just, so the WIC subsidy that you get, was that decreased? Are you still on SNAP? And that's like, God damn, like, why are you screaming this to the public? Like, no one needs to know how, what I'm going through financially. And it deters people from seeking help because of the way that these departments, you're right, they're treated bad, and they're staffed with people who are not qualified to be there, and they pay them shit. But you pay the police officers, you pay them pretty well. They can get all this overtime. I know officers, and I'm not trying to diminish their, I know officers that make over $120,000 because of the amount of overtime they get.
Oh yeah. I mean, and all of my years in the club business, I could just tell you of the many club owners and the many hundreds of thousands of dollars they had to pay Miami Beach police officers to be at the clubs. And it is
no, listen, this happened to me, Jill. I was doing an event in West Palm Beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Yeah, I was doing an event in West Palm Beach, right? And the races, they had this city manager. What a fucking asshole. He was a city administrator. I forgot his name. Some little short white racist guy. Like, the guy was racist, right? And so I went, and I knew he was racist by the way he was just dealing with me. Like, we wanted to we were hired to do a function in the city. So we brought all of these artists. We brought Trina. We brought, okay, that's a whole nother story. But we brought Trina. That lady's not stopping. The Kaya lady, she's not stopping. Like, I've never seen anybody like that.
Look, Kaya ain't got nothing on Geisha 305.
Who's Geisha 305?
Geisha 305 has, make me just rescind my crown, my former crown of gossip diva, because that girl reads like I can't even. Like, you've never heard of Geisha 305?
I'm gonna look it up.
Listen. I love Trina, and it has absolutely nothing to do with Trina, or we'll get to Trina and that whole issue. But my admiration for the way this girl read has nothing to do with, she couldn't even talk about anybody. But that was a read of life. If anybody else, right, Deandra? Yes, I just did. That girl, come on now. If you heard it, that was a read. As somebody who used to read for a living for years, I was like, whoo, if I had on a wig, it would have blown off. Do you see it? Geisha is, listen, like I'm saying, it has nothing to do, it could have been anybody. She could have been reading anybody. But and not just what she said, but she's been doing it for a long time. She's been, she's been on Trick and Trina for a very, very, very long time. Let's get that straight, right? I think she's heard. I think she felt like they were supposed to put her on at some point, and they didn't. And and she mad. She mad. She in all her feelings, every last one of them. But when I tell you that was a read of life, and the way that she's editing it, and putting the cadence in it, almost like a rap, but she just is really doing a good job at what she does. I personally don't do that no more, because you are what you create. So if you talk shit about people all the damn time, guess what? However, I do respect a good read, and that one was epic. The last one she did, she has to practice. D'Andrea, she practiced her craft on that one. You hear me? Jesus. You see it? You trying to find it? Let me see.
I mean, yeah, I don't
even listen. I hate to even bring it up.
So like this, but back to while you search for that, you can send it to me once you get the link, and then we'll share it with everyone. I wanted to just kind of let people know what happened with these cops when we were how much money this is a true story. So I go down there. The racist city manager's trying to stop the thing from happening because they're like, oh, we don't like Trick Daddy, like he's gonna incite a riot, and we don't want that type of shit happening in fucking West Palm Beach, whatever. So I ended up having to go and call senators and people to get in contact with the mayor Muyo, who was very, very nice, and the current mayor is a good guy too, Keith James, very good guy. But they had this jerk city manager, city administrator. He goes and says, oh, you need to have extra police, right? So they made me get extra police because of the fear of Black people during Black History Month. This actually happened. Wow. So I said, well, you guys have these rodeo roundups and chili festivals and all these things. And I looked at your public safety plan for those things, and you didn't have nearly as many cops as you're asking me to have. So I had to now go and find cops to do it. Well, they had the police chief in cahoots with this guy. So they were like, oh, we don't have any cops available. So we had to hire Florida Highway Patrol. Do you know, literally for the hour, these cops were making, the sergeant made $98 an hour.
Oh, that was good. We used to pay $125 an hour.
Oh, no. The other position that was higher than the sergeant that we had to get was $135, and then the lowest was $78. Right? Yep. They literally, first of all, they were lazy as hell. They didn't do anything. They sat in their patrol cars. Then they finally got out, walking around, and it was just like I just couldn't believe like. Their bill came up to, for 3 officers for like 4 hours, the bill was over $6,000. It was crazy. I was like, how is this possible? And so now when you put that in the context of understanding, like, okay, I'm risking my life, right? So I'm risking my life to keep the public safe. And we understand that is a difficult job to do, right? So there are bad people out there, and there are people doing a lot of evil shit. However, the amount of money that goes into these police departments and the amount of crimes that they actually solve, right? Like that's a big problem because you're it's not equitable. It's not equitable at all. So I think that at the end of the day, someone said when I booked Trick Daddy, my event insurance went up 3 times. As when I asked why, it was because it had a rap artist. I mean, I just the discrimination of our people when it comes to pretty much anything is going to be glaring. Someone says, so what's the alternative to having police? Can private services be requested? I mean, no, we're not trying to get rid of the police, right? We are restructuring the way that police do policing, right? So when you have a city budget and someone that was a former director of a department in a city, I can tell you that being a Parks and Rec director, my budget was gutted several times because of police services.
Right.
And so we had a crime prevention program, Jill, where our job was to prevent kids from doing crimes. And so police are more intervention than prevention. And so here, your comment has to have some balance because police aren't doing preventative work that's stopping folks from doing the crimes that they commit, nor are they providing the interventions. And the reason why you have to continue to have this conversation is that cops are called to their defense. Cops are called for things that they shouldn't be called for, right? You have a raccoon in your yard that has rabies and that's going crazy around in your backyard, you're going to call 911. If you have a deranged man or woman walking around drugged up naked, not a threat to anyone, but walking around naked, you call 911. So you don't have mental health services where you should have a unit of people that deal with that type of. So once you start reading off or whatever you're saying, hey, we call 911, what's happening? And you tell them what's happening. Well, there's the alligator in the back of my house. There needs to be an animal services unit that can now deal with that. But you don't have
alligator, right?
Right. You don't have animal service units in municipalities because the police takes all of it's non-emergency, right? But the cop still comes out. So when you use a non-emergency call, you're still going to get a police officer. And so those are services that really should be routed to other departments or other departments created that are auxiliary to the police department, right? Because now you have this big budget and you're expecting these cops to do things that they're not trained to do. You're putting them in positions where they only know what to do, what they did to Rayshad Brooks, right? Pull out a gun and shoot. And that's not something that's sustainable, and that's not something that is going to ever provide the true level of service that our community actually needs. So definitely not private services.
But I think we have to go to the goal is it to be what our community needs, right? Or is it to control our community? What is their mission? What is their purpose when it comes to us? You see, so if the tone of dealing with predominantly non-white communities is to control and subdue as opposed to protect and serve, then at the door we got a problem. Bless you. In terms of defunding, I don't think you cannot have police. However, you cannot incentivize white supremacists by paying them a fortune, giving them a gun, and telling them these are the zip codes where most of the crime happens. You just setting it up. And what happened to protect and serve?
I mean, the thing is,
come off of law. Have you noticed that it's coming off of police cars? That's come off of their motto, protect and serve. I think it's professional law enforcement now.
Someone said the other alternative is to police ourselves. The question is now, how do we deal with people who aren't going to help us move forward? We will have some people who ain't worth a damn in there.
Yeah, no, right. You're right. That's not an option.
Right. And then someone said public safety equals keyword safe. Hard to feel safe when they pull out their guns without threat.
Right.
I think that in a perfect situation, and this is, I would like, how many times did you actually have to call the police, right? It's like insurance, right? You know that insurance is there, but some people have never used their insurance. And so there's the idea that crime is just rampant and it's out of control. And that it's really not reality, right? Most of the crimes that happen are not random crimes. Most of the crimes that happen are crimes from people that or people that you're familiar with. And so because of that, you know what I'm saying? So because of that, we understand that the senseless violence is rooted in the lack of conflict resolution, the lack of the ability to do things in your community that are interventional in nature, right? Like that are preventative in nature. So if there's no money put into civic engagement and knowing your neighbors, and specifically our people, right? We don't know our neighbors and our neighborhoods. And so that anonymity, cops shouldn't have a huge budget if they're not working to destroy that anonymity. You're supposed to know the sergeant in your neighborhood. You're supposed to know the officers in your neighborhood because they are sectioned off based off their district. You know what I'm saying? So even if that cop is just literally going up and down the street, speaking to people, you'll have a better understanding of who that person is and create more of a camaraderie where you don't have to have this situation where cops are anonymous and the perps are anonymous, or the people that they get called on. You can call the person by their name, right? So if I call and I know that, Crazy Joe is someone that does whatever he does, and now you call the cop's going to know Crazy Joe because he's doing his job. He's doing community policing, and That's not the case. They don't do that. So it's more of a case where they're not even doing the job that they're paid to do. Because if you have a specific area that you're in and you don't get calls, what are you doing all day? Are you going? What are they doing?
Right. In terms of they're looking for shit. Did you see what Jenny Lee Molina said? Public safety equals keyword safe. Hard to feel safe when they pull out their guns without threat. Was that what you were reading? I think it might fall back on the person calling the authorities. If I call and I say, I know this kid has a mental problem, for example, please send someone to deal with this along with a cop. That is a extra layer of protection, K.E. Hodges. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's like basically being very specific as to why I called. So when they roll back that beam footage, it'll be clear that the person that called was making a point to say, this person I know has a mental deficiency. So please send someone who can deal with that and a cop as well. That's as clear as saying officers are not psychologists. So please do both.
So we know that looking at the fact that a lot of these white women who have called erroneously, called the police on Black people, when you go to the lynching museum over in Alabama, you'll see that it's so unfortunate that so many of our people, I would say about 90% of the lynchings that you go in the lynching museum were due to white women lying or white women calling the police on black men. It is the most depressing thing you can experience. So when you go there, all of these things are connected, because when you start talking about defund the police, understand that whoever's saying that, I don't like the phrase because it's misleading.
It's misleading, right?
It's misleading, right? And so now white women specifically are going to react negatively to that, because you have to understand that they think that the police, the police are their friends, right? And the fact is that if you're chanting defund the police and now you're hoping to support a Democratic candidate, you are actually doing more damage than good, because that phrase in and of itself is going to scare off that white woman that's on the fence, whether she's going to vote for Trump or whether she's going to vote for Biden. And we understand that this election is so important, because if Trump wins again, we're going to have to try to figure out either carving out our own nation or no, seriously, we're going to have to think about either carving out our own nation or going to another country, because until like this, he's going to go insane. He's going to go insane. And so on that note, all of this has come about because, people are highlighting what's wrong. People are being upset, and specifically white kids are coming out, right? And so I think that takes us to the commentary that that Trina had last week, or it was last week on the protests, right?
I think it's about 2 weeks now.
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago that she had on the protest, and so. That statement that she made, did you feel, Jill, that statement was, do you feel she deserved what she got from that statement?
The blowback from the community?
Yeah. Did you find the Geisha 305 video on her?
Oh, child, I went and got my tea. I stopped looking. I'll go back and look for it. That was a totally, okay, but like, Geisha's is personal. That's not a good example for this conversation. But Geisha, that was just a good read, right? And Geisha's relationship with her problem with Trina and Trick has gone back a long way. So it's, you couldn't use her opinion. I personally don't think you can use her opinion as any validity, of anything in that nature, because she personally got it in for Trick or Trina period. That's some personal shit they got to deal with. Yeah. However. Wait, say it again.
No, I was asking about the blowback. Do you feel that the blowback that that Trina received, do you feel it was warranted?
Commensurate with what she said. I think that it was just a lot of that came from the sensitivity of the moment, right? We're in a very, very difficult moment where we're being, it feels like, especially if you're Black and brown, we're being attacked from all sides. So for somebody that you really kind of are down with to feel like they're coming for you, and they're calling, people calling us animals, that was a big problem. I'm going to chop that up to a lack of experience as a radio personality. There is a difference when you are a guest, a celebrity guest on a radio show versus being the host of the show, right? Certain things carry much more weight and won't be, if Trina had said that in a record, it probably would have went right past. You know what I'm saying? But in that position, It was really hurtful to a lot of people. And this is somebody that, we ride or die with. So I think that's why she got the blowback that she got.
Right.
However, I think Trick and Trina have been doing radio for what? 5 months, 4 months. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of learning to do as it comes to the game of radio. So, I think she learned, and you learn a lot of lessons. I mean, I had my share, coming up, not quite that bad, but I wasn't a celebrity at the time either. But, people take what you say, particularly on the radio, completely to heart. And you got to really watch your tongue and really think about, you can't just be reckless with your language. You know what I'm saying? You can't be on the air and you can't come back and say, well, I had been drinking, so that's where that came from. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, thank you very much. I think that is the problem with Trick and Trina. And I felt like, now Charlemagne said it best, right? Because he said, they talked about it, and he said, when her apology was a little milquetoast in comparison to her diatribe.
Yeah.
And so he was like, I need you to come with all that tapping shit you was doing when you were talking about the riots, as opposed to, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
Do you think that so we found that the reason I asked that we have one of our followers, Jill, that found the video. So I'm gonna go ahead and play that for you guys.
Okay.
This is
First of all, I would like to.
Okay. This is the Geisha 305 lady. Okay. Let me play that for you guys right now. So we're talking about just briefly. Did Trina deserve the smoke that she got for the statements that she made? All right, here we go.
I eat my oatmeal.
All right, here you go.
What do the people expect from Trina? Here it is. We have a woman angry, bitter, and lost, 46 years old, still in the 12th grade, thinking she's a realtor. Now, Cox Media Group at one time was recognized as being of high standards, but with Trick and Trina on the air, it has turned into a slip and slide circus act. I just feel like politics, human rights, and morals are topics Katrina Laverne Taylor needs to stay away from. Child, referring to blacks that are using their voices and freedom of expression as animals comes to no surprise to me. This woman has been a part of that species for years. Now, everybody knows that this is the time we all should feel empathy, rage, and that we could have been George Floyd, a family member, a loved one, a co-worker, even some random person we don't even know in our community. But this donkey from Shrek thinks otherwise. And what pisses me off the most, I can't believe her and Shekinah Joe from Atlanta are more focused on the high-end malls in their city. And comparing George Floyd's murder to her brother's murder is absurd. Hell, my little brother was murdered years before her little brother was murdered from a black-on-black crime by one of me and Trina classmates. So I endured the same hurt and pain. But to have the audacity to compare black-on-black crime to being murdered by a racist, girl, we as a discriminated race learn hate from them. Fool, you need to know where to channel your energy. Lenny Small, Norville Harbor will pay you or Shekinah Joe dust if you were murdered by a racist today or tomorrow. Gucci, Prada, Chanel, nor Dior will be at your funeral, Trina. The reality is you just lost your mama and you need a vacation because you ain't been doing nothing but spitting venom on that radio station. Hurt people, and you've been displaying her whole activity. You talk too damn fast and over people like a crackhead. I'ma need you to get it together, Pookie. And I just don't understand why nobody you know is telling you the truth. Do you realize that the state that America is in, that looters are of all nationalities? But you black hip-hop public figures keep pointing out black people like they're the only ones running rapid out here. Every time you open your mouth, you make Miami look like we're lacking knowledge and common sense. Instead of you uplifting George Floyd's family in their time of bereavement, you're focused on the people that only see the color green and could give no cares about your brown skin. And speaking of quarantine and people from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., they need to quarantine you from 99 Jams forever. You are an idiot. You need to stop letting let Miss Vanessa insurance money get to your head and stop going live in the backyard of that man's house by his pool, living in Miami and acting like you've never seen water before. I need to request a conference with Mr. Rob Babbitt and ask him why would he hire a non-professional personality host to slander people on air and got the nerve to call people animals. Girl, even animals breed. What about you? Where are your little cubs? Had any kids today, Trina? Yesterday, last week, last month, last year, 10 years ago, 20 years ago? No, because you burnt up inside like them looters doing to them stores. Nobody out here should be taking advice from a woman that messed with married men. Receipts, Kenyon Martin, Vanessa Martin, French Montana, Dean Carbouch. You talking about lock black people up, lock that vagina up.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, you see what I mean?
Yeah, that was a bit much.
Now, okay, now let's examine this. The reason why is, as reads go, that's playing the dozens. And so other people call it playing the dozens, right? As playing the dozens go, that was a classic read. It just happens to be hurtful and painful because it's about somebody that we know, right? I know at the end of the day, there's no way that Trina was trying to admonish her entire community. That's just not what that was. Her friend got robbed. They tore up her store. She's upset. There's so many other levels to what Trina was dealing with at that moment. And, ideally, she wouldn't have gone into that. But if she was a celebrity only, a lot of people would have just let that go, would have let her read of that go. But as a radio personality, you take on a whole new hat, and ain't nobody trying to give you no grace for messing up or nothing. Trina deserves that grace, and she will earn it. She will earn it over time. I mean, that was a moment in time.
So
over time, you'll see.
Someone put, why replay that garbage? And to respond to that, I didn't know what she was going to say. I don't know who Geisha 305 is. This is my first time hearing of her. And we played that because it was, Jill mentioned that the woman read her. But one of the things that I don't like is for folks to just say negative things about people. I don't think that Trina deserved to be attacked personally like that. She didn't deserve that. She definitely deserves to be reprimanded, right, for her poor choice of words. However, this brother said that he feels she did deserve it, but we need to also, to embrace your sister at the same time. I was one of the people that wanted clarification about her statements. If we could continue to cancel everyone that has a different opinion, we will eventually cancel everyone, including ourselves. I took a step back and realized that she needs us to educate her. Now, brother, I think that was a very, very positive comment.
And May Rain made a comment down there. She continues to come here. Listen, like I said, you guys, she that was a personal attack because Geisha is hurt in her heart and soul that Trick and Trina have never put her on. She felt like
who is that?
She's like a local rapper
in Miami.
Geisha's here.
Oh, okay.
Geisha 305. She's been here forever. She, like I said, she's been coming for Trick, and now she's been coming for Trick for years. Now she's coming for Trina, and it puts her on. Look, just like they said, you just played it. That would have never happened if she had not read Trina. If she would have been completely irrelevant. You see what I'm saying? So she's been picking at them like that for years.
Yeah,
she felt like she should have been on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. She was something else that came up. She felt like she should have been part of it, and she wasn't. She feels like they should have put her on. That is a lot of haterade that she drinks on a daily basis. Okay, please believe it is. But in terms of the skill of reading, she has that down to a science. Personally, I don't agree with her on the people that she is attacking, because it is just personal. It ain't really got nothing to do with, being objective about that situation at all.
So let me ask you this, right? With looking at the statement that I was more upset at, there was a woman, I don't know who she is, but if someone can send me that video as well, she was just so selfish in her her rhetoric. She's like, I lost $100,000 because of this blackout. Like, I didn't agree with the blackout for a different reason.
Isn't that her friend? Isn't that Trent? That's Trina's friend that lost her shop at Bayfront.
No. This is a woman who owns some sort of like online business, and like there was another active protest, which was the blackout. And the blackout was supposed to change your profile picture to black. And this woman was like, well, I've lost because of the blackout. I lost $100,000 because, someone said Coach Stormy. Her name was Coach Stormy.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Stormy. That's a whole. Let's have another sip of tea on Stormy.
She was like, I lost. So someone can give me that video. It was really pathetic. She's like, I lost $100,000 because of this blackout.
Stormy probably took that down by now.
Oh, okay.
Took that down. If anybody has it, put it up, because I never saw it, but I heard Jesus, Lord God. I heard about that.
Wait, hold on.
You don't know who Coach Stormy is. Oh, I got a good Stormy clip from Hot Talk.
While you find that, what someone said, she was keeping it real. Perhaps that person is going through pain, especially what the Black community going through. I mean, who was keeping it real? Trina
or Stormy?
I don't know what she's talking about. When people use improper nouns on these threads, I can't.
You're not gonna go there.
No, I'm saying I don't know who we're talking about, but as far as
Coach Stormy so I will give you the background on Coach Stormy. Stormy was a dancer at one point, very, very young in her career, and then she went on to do several other money-making opportunities.
Which company did she dance for? Which troupe did she dance for?
What troupe did she dance for?
Yeah, which company?
Company?
Yeah.
I don't know, the Rolex. I don't know.
Oh, you mean she was a stripper? Oh, okay.
Right, very, very, very early in her career, and but she learned how to make money. She, in all of this, she was on Hot Talk. It's been a while ago. I used to do a series on strippers, which I might read, but anyway, and so she said, and her story goes, so that she came home one day very young, 15, 16 years old. She was taking care of her brother. The lights were off. Her parents were gone. I think both of her parents were on crack or whatever. They were on drugs. And a girlfriend of hers said, well, I know how you can get the money. You can go to the club with me. And she took her to the club. And while they were at the club, she was sitting down, I guess at the bar, if I remember correctly. And a man came up to her and said, if you show me your pussy, I'll give you $500 or $300, whatever it was. And she was like, just to show it to you. Right. She was like, just to show it to you. And he said, yeah. And she showed it to him. He gave her the money. She paid the light bill and, took care of her.
Light bill was $500?
No, I didn't know. But when she got there because she got home and her lights were off and she was taking care of her little brother and her parents was on drugs. So they was on a ziggity boom. Gotcha. And I guess she lamented to her friend, and her friend said, this is how you can get the money. Right. I'm sure the light bill was not $500, but whatever. And that she was like, wow, this is easy. Right. And so she did that for a while to accumulate money, but then she started to flip it into owning boutiques and things and on. And then she discovered, I think she was the first one to do body magics. Right.
What is it?
The body magic, those body magic shapers, a lot of, she's a motivational speaker now. Yes. But body shapers, they were all the rage. They, take you from a size 22 to a 18.
How does that work? Wait. Is this a device?
You could call it that. It's a girdle, but it's a full thing. I have one. I could go get it, but it's like a small torture chamber. But it does, bring you down. And then unless you have to sit down, you look good. Sometimes you'll see women and you go to hug them and it feels like they have on like something metal. That's
wait a second. You're telling me that there is a device that you put on your body and it compresses your body?
Your body.
Why would you do that?
To be smaller. To look tight, it's like a corset. Back in the day, when women have always worn them. Okay, this is nothing new. This is just, can y'all please add me? Okay. May Rain said, please add me to this live. May Rain, would you like to chime in on body magic?
I'll add you, May. I'll add you right now. Because I'm a little confused.
Okay, I'm gonna go get my body magic. So
why you would do that?
So we can show you what it is.
But I don't understand why you would do that to yourself. Like that can hurt your everything. That can hurt your organs, and that's not good. Let me send May Rain the invite so that she can explain that better, because I'm lost. I've never dated a girl that had that.
Well, maybe she took it off before you got there.
That would be interesting.
Okay, so listen.
May I sent you the invite? I know, because I thought corsets they were outlawed.
Well, they should be. As painful as this thing is.
Jesus, that looks painful. That looks like something that you would wear if you were a sadist masochist and you had that type of relationship.
Right. Well, that's what you feel like with it on. And that is why this looks brand new, because I think I put it on my body twice and decided that it just wasn't worth it. Do you see? So
yeah.
All of this has like binding in it. And it's just it's like, honestly, 3 sides, but it does hold everything in place. If you're the only time I wore it was to take pictures, and I didn't have to sit down or anything. So you get the idea.
So this woman, okay. So this
she made
woman,
a lot of money selling these, a lot of money.
All right, let's play the video. We found the video. I have an incredible queen that's like finding these things of this woman who sells. So this is the woman who sells the torture device called a body maker. So this body maker,
same thing.
So now she's not advertising to lose weight or to be healthy. She's advertising to constrict your organs and to hurt yourself in this torturous garment that she created. So this is the woman who did that. And let's listen to her complain about not making money selling, I guess, this torture device and some other items that she has. Like, this was just amazing to me. All right. I just thought this was incredible stuff. All right. So
talking about the tea in that rant that everybody's talking about. But go ahead.
All right. So let's play that. And May, I sent you the invite. All right.
I can light one of my May Rain candles.
You silenced yourself. Therefore, no one saw your business. You probably lost 50, 60, 70% of your sales today. So busy trying to be a follower. Your business today suffered. I know it did, because my business today suffered. Okay? We stand for social justice. We stand for equality. We stand to eradicate racism. I do not stand to lose my business. I do not stand for my sales to be declined. I do not stand to fall short of my goals. So y'all can play. But tomorrow, I ain't playing. Tomorrow, I go even harder. Now I got to make up for the $100,000 I lost today while y'all want to black out. You know what? I'm back in. I'm done with the blackout. Tomorrow, I goes harder. No holds barred. I ain't holding back. I don't even want to go to sleep today because I feel like I got to make up for the 24 hours that I lost today. So y'all could be asleep if y'all want and let these people.
So that capitalistic rant was very, very, very hurtful. I think that, I really think that at the end of the day, why did it make my face bigger?
I was going to say, right, you need to make our faces bigger. That we can barely see May Rain. Hi, May.
Oh, God. I don't know why I made Oh, shit. I don't know. Well, ladies. ladies, you're gonna have to just so May you had to you came on to talk about let me see how I can
Here's a device, girl.
how can I do this? Like how can I make you the no, I can't do that. I guess that's what it is. Jesus Christ. Why is this person calling me? I hate people that do this. I hate that shit. You see that I'm on this fucking live and you're fucking calling me. You see that I'm on this shit.
They might not be watching.
No, they fucking know. They're calling me through fucking Facebook.
Oh, they know they're watching.
Okay. I ain't got to look, I can't help it. Change the layout.
All right, so let's
change the layout.
So let's unpack this. Someone said it's a girdle, it's not a device. I mean, that is a device. That thing looks very complicated, Charlene. I don't know, no one's gonna know just how to use that. So let's unpack this for a second. This woman who her biography.
That was her first company. She's on to TLC now. She sells what is that? NutriBurst and
NutriBurst. Let me because hold on.
Wait,
you got some of it. May Rain got some of it.
Yeah, I got.
Wait, can we focus on just the first product that she so she sells multiple?
She's not doing that no more. That was a long time ago.
So
she got into the game. Now she don't do that no more. Now she sells TLC. What she's talking about in that rant is her TLC products.
Right.
That.
What is this? What is that? Some other harmful thing to exasperate superficiality?
All right. So let's start here. For me, first of all, I would love to see you guys do this show. Can you hear me? Can you hear me good?
Yes. We hear you, babe.
I would love to see you two do a show on a regular basis. I am rolling. I am entertained. This feels really good. This is what a show is supposed to be. So let me just say that first, okay? Secondly, with regards to Coach Stormy, that's what she calls herself, so that's what I call her. I do respect her hustle, okay? Waist shapers have been around since the 50s. I mean, I had known more Hispanic women to wear them, okay, to give them an elongated, upright look, to give the body more contour, if you will. Okay, so
that hourglass. There you go.
Right, to
that
give
hourglass,
the hourglass shape. Yeah. Okay, as if call it superficial, but there are things that people want to do to enhance their bodies, and that's their choice. I love it because I think that she shed more light on it, brought it more so to the black community, and it took off.
Okay, that's right. Yeah,
it took off.
I don't. So you know what? I don't like that, May. You know why I don't like it? Why? Because you can suffocate. Okay. Your organs. No, this is serious. Your organs being constricted can cause so many health problems. And now she's peddling this tea that is pretty much starving yourself, right? Instead of us saying that we have a problem in our community with heart disease in Black women, we have a problem in our community with hypertension, where if you're constricting your organs and wearing that garment, you are increasing your blood pressure. Right? You're increasing your blood pressure. You're doing all these harmful things. And I'm tired of amazing Black women like yourself. That's an entrepreneur that makes these incredible soaps that I purchase, that I use. And your biography doesn't start with I showed my vagina to a guy for $500 to pay for my goddamn light bill. No. And we keep promoting these people. And then that becomes the face of entrepreneurship. And now she's a fucking coach. That's crazy to me. Now she's calling herself a goddamn coach. We have to stop doing it. There's so many righteous Black women that need to be promoted. There's so many righteous Black women that need to be celebrated, that should be coaches, that have biographies of triumph and not rooted in this salacious, perverse, negative, gutter bullshit that we keep promoting the same narrative. That woman needs to be fucking silenced. And you saw how she felt and thought about what we're doing when she sat there and said, oh, I lost $100,000. The fact that you are now quoting how much money you lost, number one, is disrespectful. No one needs to know how much money you lost, right? Because what you're saying, if you're making $100,000 in a day, you are shitting on all of the hardworking women out there that don't make that shit because you're complaining about something that's relative, right? Like, I'm sorry, man. Like that, I'm tired of that narrative. Black women deserve better representation of what it means to be an entrepreneur, of what it means. And they silence those Black women, like the Black woman that's an incredible scientist over at Morehouse that's doing research on cancer cells with lasers. This woman is a PhD doctor who is on the groundbreaking cusp of literally developing cancer research that is an entrepreneur, that's an academic. The Black woman who owns one of the only Black-owned drug research companies that's on the forefront of groundbreaking technologies for COVID-19. The Black woman that created, like, no one even knows their name, but you know a fucking Coach Stormy? Yeah, come on.
So here's
go ahead, Ray.
Okay.
Go ahead, man.
So here's the thing. All Black women will not be scientists. All Black women's journey did not start in the classroom or in the institution of education. There are some Black women that started at the bottom, that did start with, with promiscuity and vulgarity and all of these things that you mentioned. However, to me, she made a bad judgment call by saying, how much money she lost. Okay. I do, on the other hand, understand that when you come from nothing and you built this empire, for yourself, losing $100,000 might send you into a bit of shock. And because we live in this culture where we discuss everything on social media,
right,
I can also understand her coming and saying, look, this is crazy. I'm losing money. Like, this is in her mind, not in my mind, not in your mind or in anybody else's mind, but in her mind, this is counter what I am trying to do as a Black woman, doing my part, okay? Teaching people about financial literacy and financial freedom after having come from the strip club.
Right.
That part I can understand, because every woman's story is not going to be that they discovered the cure for COVID. You know what I mean? I do believe, because I had my own issue. I'm like, damn, what is this? Stormy, what is it? What is this about? Like, this is almost like a following, like a cult type thing, very cultish.
That's yeah.
And so
but
I don't ever want to be a bandwagoner. I want to develop my own judgments. So I went to hear her speak. And I could only applaud the way that her building of her empire is inclusive of other women.
What do you mean?
Of other people.
What do you mean? Like multi-ethnic people?
Like teaching other Black women how to build a financial empire for themselves. And when you have Black women that are saying, okay, I was in poverty and now I'm selling a detox tea. There are many white companies that sell a detox tea. So because this company is booming and doing what it's doing, I'm not going to knock it.
No, but May, my point is this, right? You have Lisa Price of Carol's daughter, right? You have amazing
branch of Jesse's.
Right. So my thing is that my business partner, Felicia Hatcher, is women empowerment galore. That's what she does. And I am surrounded by amazing Black women every single day. But what the media and what we do in mass, the Black women that we propagate, young girls need to know their names. They know Trina's name. They know Stormy's name. They know they know all these people, like that Black woman that they keep. She's I don't know if she's a makeup artist or what, and she's crying on camera talking about what did Gucci do to you guys. Like that's the. Did you see that?
No.
She's an entrepreneur and she's literally in tears and she's like, "What did Gucci do to y'all? Gucci didn't do nothing to y'all." And it was crazy. She was like literally.
The Gucci store?
When Gucci, I guess, said some racist things, and she started defending Gucci. And then I'm sorry, yeah, when they broke into the Gucci store in Atlanta,
Right.
she lives in Atlanta, right?
Right.
And so that woman, right? We have this thing, and this is my point, right? We do not celebrate the innovativeness, the beauty and intelligence of a Black woman in a manner that trickles down to what girls aspire to be. The narrative of what a Black woman is the Stormies of the world. And most Black girls now, you see it on the videos, they're gyrating crazy. And then they'll say like, oh, like Starks, don't talk about that. You don't shame, you don't slut shame girls and all this other stuff. And I'm not saying, I'm like, God damn, I can't say that I don't want my 7-year-old daughter or my 5-year-old niece literally doing a provocative dance that originated in a house of perversion. I can't say that. And so now that woman is the banner holder, right, for all these young girls. And now the women who deserve to be in that spotlight, they get pushed to the back because they have, even when the overweight lady that Lizzo, right, beautiful woman, beautiful voice, and
look at the overweight lady.
No, and look at what she.
Now, you
look,
talking all that shit, but you're gonna lead Lizzo, who just
the
came out
overweight lady.
The overweight lady. You better wait. What is the girl that just came out of nowhere and she won 2 Grammys and she was? You could have went all there, but no, the fat bitch.
No, Joe. No, oh my God. No. Joe, don't do that. I forgot. I was getting to it.
Overweight. That was a nice way to say fat bitch. Okay. Hey.
I need this in my mornings.
Listen, Jill, first of all, I forgot her name. And and you know what? But this is the thing. No. This is what this is my point, May, because Jill is trying to be distraction here. I'm not gonna let you do this.
I'm telling you, it's in the language. When you talk, if you want to talk about language, you want to talk about coded words and coded conversation.
Okay.
Hey,
so no, what I was saying was that at the end of the day, Lizzo, right? Incredible talent, incredible voice, right? When she started to become very perverse with her, showing her ass at a basketball game and gyrating or whatever, that's what they wanted to pick up, right? That's what they wanted to show. So they're not showing Lizzo's incredible grace in her voice and her beauty in a manner that precedes her reputation. What now precedes her reputation is the fact that she made a decision to, shake her ass at a basketball game, right? Like, I just think that the way that Black women are portrayed and what the media decides to propagate is not a true reflection comprehensively of the amazingness of Black women. And I just want some balance. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I understand it, but again, she did that, right? She went to a Lakers game, sat in the front row with a thong on. What did you expect to happen? I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take responsibility for doing stuff. If Beyonce had done it, they would have been the same thing. They would have been they'd be like, damn, she look good. It would have been more of that. You know what I'm saying? But it would have been the same thing. If she's not on stage, why is she wearing her costume?
Right.
That's the problem there.
Right.
With Liz. Whoever, she, and as you see, her star started to go, the light went down. Every other word was Lizzo. Like less than a year ago. She did that dumb shit, and now, where is she? I haven't heard from her.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Well,
so we have to be cognizant of how we show up.
That's right.
And what's acceptable for us to show up. If I have to, if you have to sometimes wait, May can speak to this. The only space I think that really honors Black women to show up exactly as we are, really, it is music. And more importantly, poetry.
Yeah, I agree.
That we're allowed to just show up however we show up in the world. But everywhere else, you feel like you have to bend and shape yourself to be something else, because they will accept you. If you walk in looking like Beyonce, you could not know how to spell, and you would still get a 6-figure job.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
This someone put, the woman that was crying over the Gucci store, someone said that was Shekinah T.I. and Tina's friend, but I was watching her full live and people only took the small part of her crying. She was not crying over Gucci specifically. I think that, well, I think that you make a big mistake. Yeah, but the fact is that if she wasn't crying over Gucci specifically, she was in an emotional state, and then she made a comment that then was cut out. But at the end of the day, you saying what did Gucci do to you is the same thing that people say when they say, what about black on black crime? And when a white person says, what about black on black crime? What they're essentially saying is, you kill each other, so why can't I kill you too? You know, and so that is a very dangerous narrative. Like, the fact is that when you ask about property over human life, I mean, I think it's such a disrespect. And it's such an example of how sick and damaged our minds are, as not only as a people at times, but as a nation. Right. Yeah. So like, I don't care that her alive had other connotations to it. The fact that you were juxtaposing a Gucci store to human life, you deserve all that smoke that you got.
Right. No, I'd have to agree with you there.
Yeah.
Someone said, I don't have a problem with Stormy telling her story because everybody have a story of their past that they're not happy about yet overcame it. So this is my issue, right? I am asking for the balance. Right now, if I ask on this live to share with me a black woman who is at the same level and height that Coach Stormy is at, that is doing what Coach Stormy is doing, that doesn't have a salacious, perverse past that reinforces the narrative of the black woman being this, it's just a very visceral narrative, right? Like, who would you promote, right? Michelle Obama, she gets just talked so badly about, even though black women love her, but in the media, Michelle Obama doesn't really get the clout or the praise that a Coach Stormy would get, or the eyes. Are people eyes on her? But Michelle can do more in the black community, though.
And that is because who is writing that narrative, and they don't look like me and May Rain or you.
Right. And not only that, I don't think that Michelle Obama's success depended on that. It's very different. I mean, for us, you do have to use these platforms to your benefit. People say it all the time. May, why aren't you more vocal on social media? Why aren't you doing YouTube? Why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you you could be much bigger if you did this or that. Mm-hmm. And so I think that, of course, Michelle Obama's platform is very different from a regular girl who wants to sell some products, make some money, get all her friends on, and that type of thing. I think it's a very different dynamic.
And has the bomb lighting. I need the hookup where you got that light, because I'm just like, where's that light coming? She's glowing like the sun this morning. Yes, queen.
I mean, that's all those products. Listen, May Rain's products are incredible, and I start using her soap because I didn't want to use apparently like the commercial soap is bad for you. It has stuff in there that like dries your skin and all this other stuff. Yeah. But I love May Rain's products. And so guys, if you can you just kind of let them know your website real quick?
Thank you. That is a box.
The little moonflower box, and you have like the candles.
Right now, I have
the one that's sitting on Shelby's desk right now.
I have the King box that I just released for Father's Day. So you can order the product through www.mayreign, that's MAYREIGN.com.
Spell it again.
MAYREIGN. It's www.mayreign.com. It's so simple.
Hey guys, I have it on the screen. Right there. May Rain. We're gonna definitely have black entrepreneurs on our show all the time, and make sure that folks know what's out there, what's available. I love her products, specifically her soap. I buy two soaps. I buy Ebonine. and I buy May Rain's product. And there's some other amazing soap creators out there as well.
Yes.
But we know that May has a very, very superior product. So definitely check her out.
There's a lovely candle called Cannabis too. What is the one that I like the Cannabis because it's a nice balance scent. But there's another one that I absolutely love.
Purify Me.
Listen,
I like
my house.
I like cannabis, right? But I like to smoke mine. I don't really like to burn candles.
Okay.
I like to smoke it. But I do like the smell of the soap because I breathe the soap smell in, right? Before I use it, and it has like a calming effect, right?
The lavender and sage together. And that's so interesting because the soap has sage that you're talking about, and the Purify Me candle that Jill is talking about has sage as well. So you both love sage.
No, but there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a very angry male duck at it's a male duck that stays in front of my house, and he attacks the other women ducks, right? But there's another male duck that defends the women, right? The women duck, right? Mm-hmm. That asshole duck I just saw the asshole duck go fly, right? Starts attacking the woman duck, right? The male duck that defends the women, flew over, and now that duck was hit by a car just now. The defender of those women ducks just fucking died.
Oh no.
And you know why I know the difference? Because the male duck that attacks the women ducks, he has a mohawk. And that's how I tell the difference. So now he's free to just terrorize those women ducks now. That is, and one of the women ducks, she has like 20 kids now because of that. It's so unfortunate.
This story sounds so familiar.
It's so unfortunate. But anyway, as far as what we're talking about, all I'm asking, Jill, is for balance, right? Balance for black women. And I think that we need to do better. I just do.
Well, yes, we do. But I will tell you honestly that there will not be balance for Black women, men, our stories, until there's balance in the rooms where these stories are created and produced.
Right.
And period.
And the other thing too, that is very important to me, and I talk about this often when I'm given the opportunity, speaking each other's names, not just in death or when it becomes a hashtag, but our community, in particular arts. When I think about, I spoke with Ingrid the other day, which is another promoter of poetry events. How relevant or how important it was to not just for yourself, but that your sister or brother remain relevant. Langston Hughes, Zora, all of the Black writers that we know, they spoke each other's names. Alice Walker. Okay. So when I went on the trail, the Zora Neale Hurston trail that they have in another part of Florida, a friend and I drove to follow this trail and see all of these milestones in her life. Okay. And we get to her grave site. And it tells the story of how Alice Walker is the person that purchased her headstone. I broke down and cried.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I understood that this was something that she did out of honor for another Black woman. And I thought to myself, who will speak my name? Who loves me? Which of my peers loves me this much and honors my work this much and honors my contributions this much to do this? So I think that in changing the narrative of Black women and Black people, we have to begin to speak each other's names often, very often. You know, there are a million people that don't know who I am, that don't know who you are, Starrex, that may not know who Jill is. I doubt it, but Jill, everybody knows Jill. But the fact that we are here together, just talking.
Right.
We ain't doing nothing. We ain't doing nothing but talking. This will be talked about. And so I think that documenting conversations, documenting love and admiration for each other in this community needs to be driven home more so than the twerk videos and that type of thing. We need to be talking about each other in a positive light on a regular basis. And that is what is going to change the narrative. There are so many beautiful authors in this community, singers, writers, you know, people that actually dance for the dance troupes, people that own dance companies that we don't talk about as much as we do when Trina goes on a rant on the radio.
Well, so, yeah, I mean, but Trina's a celebrity. So, I mean, you know.
Well, definitely.
I would offer you somebody else that wasn't, you know, quite a celebrity. But I think that the biggest I don't know. I think one of the biggest, I won't say deterrents, but one of the biggest issues with us showing each other love is because a lot of times we're looking for reciprocity and it doesn't come back. So it's like, you know, well, I talked about so-and-so and I did this and I did that and they ain't never done nothing for me. So I'm done. Do you know what I'm saying? And it really doesn't work that way. You do it because you want to honor what they do. You've seen them do something really great in the world. You want to share it. You got a platform and you say, hey, May Rain is making the most amazing candles. This Purify Me is on in every room of my house. You should check it out. And I'm doing that, because May Rain has created a wonderful product.
Wow.
Then on top of that, and how great that is, you know what I'm saying? She's a sister. And she's right here in South Florida. So it's, and you know, and Starrex is the same way. And I think that, you know, historically, because so much is in our DNA, historically, that was frowned upon. We were not supposed to create community.
Like
this. And everything was done to us upon reaching these shores
to recreate community. Right.
Exactly. From being communal and coming together. Every time, read your history, every time we have, someone has come in and burned it down, torn it up. We had to start over again. So some people, and it takes the brother Patrick Muhammad from the Nation of Islam. Good morning.
Good morning, Mel.
And we talked about that a lot. You know, I asked him why, whenever there is a problem in our community, right, and we really need safety, we will call the fruit. We will call the nation for security. However, when people are judging them and they hate Jews and this, that, and the other, we don't defend them. And what they're about and what they mean to us.
I think
90 years the NOI has been in America, and we know that the principles that they espouse are very similar to the same in our churches. So what is it? You know, if Farrakhan is going to give one of his last speeches, maybe his last speech on July 4th. Minister Farrakhan is going to give his last speech on July 4th.
You know,
30 years he's been at the head of NOI. So yeah, it's
yeah, that's going to be. What do you think about? Okay, so someone said, going back a little bit, they said there will not be balance until parents are present in the home. Even Oprah has a story you may consider perverse with early exposure to sex. Well, I am not an Oprah fan, and I think Oprah said, "No, I'm not." I'm not.
You sent me to see Oprah, and you're not an Oprah fan.
No, I sent you to see Oprah because I know that Oprah has a special place in the hearts of a lot of women. And you know, I didn't want to diminish that, right? Like I'm a very Jill, stop looking like that. But I think that Oprah, you know what? I'm not even gonna get on Oprah. I'm not. I'm gonna move on. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this. But I just remember.
You don't want that. You don't want that fire.
Remember what I'm saying.
We do not want that smoke.
Oprah will be. I think she hates black men. I do. I think she hates black men. I think that she is someone who. I think she hates black. I just do. Every time Oprah shows black people, like this is recent for her. All of this like positive black stuff, because back in the day, Oprah showed Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston exposed Oprah, told people how she really was. Monique told people how Oprah really was. All these black women that Oprah didn't want to be fucked up with. And then all of a sudden now she's sort of going that direction, but it's only certain types of black women. You'll never have a black woman that's representative of the average black woman on there. And I don't think Oprah deals with Jill left, but when Jill comes back, we said that we were going to, someone said, so why is she dating Stedman? I think she just beat Stedman. I think she just slapped the shit out of him. I think she just tells him, you shut up, and this is what we're going to do. No, I'm serious. I really think that's what it is. I don't think there's no like, I don't think there's any like normalcy with that, you know. And I don't know their relationship, but I really think Oprah I can see them riding in a car and her like digging her nails in his thigh.
So you think that that Stedman is really with Sophia?
We're just gonna have a second right here. Thank you. I'm gonna have these to purify the room. See, the lost his goddamn mind. Clearly.
Anyway.
Me right now.
Anyway, I'm glad Jill's back. Speaking about Oprah and her Weight Watchers, you know, and that goddamn lady that she's with, she goes, what was that lady's fucking name?
Gail.
Oh, so she goes, they go, and I had to take it back because my good friend Nicole and Kevin, Kareem, Nicole and Kareem own Little Greenhouse Grill, right?
Yes.
Oprah comes there with Gail. Okay, so they dine or they're eating. They're talking about that Weight Watchers thing, and that was great exposure for Little Greenhouse. But I wanted to see Oprah and Gail make a consumer decision, right? Not a prop for their fucking Weight Watchers shit, and come to a black-owned restaurant and dine because you wanted to go there. But you don't do that, because when you came back for the Super Bowl, you took your ass right. Gail took herself right to Prime 112 and didn't turn back and say, you know what? Let me.
She went to Bar One. Gail went to Bar
One.
He's a celebrity.
Your ass was just sitting up on his terrace talking about, oh, you got to support black restaurants, this, that, and the third, that big ass comp fish. Please.
What the fuck does that have to do with what I just said? You're being distracted.
You said Gail did not go to, she went somewhere else, went to Prime in Fort Lauderdale, but she went to Bar One. She went to a black-owned restaurant.
When she went to Bar, it's a big difference. I'm talking about, listen, you have tiers of restaurants, right? Peter Thomas Restaurant is incredible. I'm going there today. I'm going live there today at 6:00, right? But my job is like my self-appointed job is to expose the black culinary ecosystem. And I got into this woman's case because she goes, oh, no, seriously, I deleted her comment because it was so disrespectful. She's like, I'm in West Palm Beach and I had this little market and you told me that you were going to come do a live or support my market. You never came. And now you're supporting this expensive place that nobody can afford. And black people don't need that right now. No, this was her comment. And black people don't need that right now because they, you know, $50 a plate and all this stuff is too much for our people. And you're doing a disservice to our people. So of course, that was a very loaded comment. So I said, okay, number one, there are restaurants right now that we finally have, okay, that are able to be celebrated and enjoyed in a manner that is respectable of the memories of our lives, our grandmother's anniversaries, our wives' anniversaries, are all of this, you know. And so now let's look at these beautiful spaces. You have Lorna's and Miami Gardens, absolutely beautiful. Yes. You have Bar One in Miami Beach. You have Dukanoo in Wynwood. You have Cote Gourmet in Miami Shores. You have Ortonique on the Mile and Coral Gables. And the idea that Black
and I got breakfast yesterday from Studio 183.
And it was incredible.
It was incredible.
But think about this.
The what? E-Class? I mean, not E-Class, Jesus.
Freezy.
Freezy. It
I know
was
they were doing
so
breakfast.
Good. Oh my God. I don't know anybody that makes grits better than me.
Yeah.
Those
Me
grits are so good.
But let me get to my point, right?
Okay.
And I'm gonna circle back. I'm gonna circle back to Gail. So now you have these incredible brands that are opening, and then Marcus Samuels' space and Derek's space, Red Rooster in Overtown, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you have these spaces that are breaking out that we've asked for. We said we don't want.
We asked for them. We did.
We said we don't want just the mom and pop shops. We want to have something that's a little more elevated. And now they open them, and now where are people? Right? Why aren't we supporting them? Right? And so my thing is that's why I went there, Jill, and I eat at Black-owned restaurants regularly. Okay, the ones that the ones that I love. What I'm saying about Gail is that Peter Thomas, her connection, right, transcended her consumer behavior. And if Peter Thomas were not a celebrity, she would not have gone there. And the power this is why I know that, right? Think about the power that these people have to literally radically change people's lives from just visiting their space or by giving them shout outs. Their lineage of doing that for white folks is so traditional and consistent, right? But for Black people, you can count on one goddamn hand the amount of Black-owned businesses that they have supported in a meaningful fashion that has not been connected to a self-contrived benefit of their own. They show Black people in a negative light on a consistent basis. They show us as broken-winged birds. They put them on these shows. They have these conversations about us being broken, perverted, molested, and but it's never triumphant. It's never anything triumphant.
Yeah, that's not true.
Name one Black man she had on there that didn't have some crazy story, and me and Jill are going to announce a health initiative that we're doing because we're both going to get and lose weight and get healthy and all that stuff because that's important to our people, and we have to be the examples. Oprah has yo-yoed her weight so much, and when she yo-yos her weight like that, it creates a very false narrative of how to remain healthy. And she invested in Weight Watchers, and she has so many shares in that company that now it benefits her to get Black women on her side. That woman didn't do anything for Black women the first 20 years of her career when she didn't. And all she did was embarrass Whitney Houston, right? You remember how mad Whitney Houston was when she asked her those embarrassing questions and she embarrassed her?
That was Wendy Williams. That was Wendy that got the wrath of Whitney.
Who?
Wendy Williams, the one that got the wrath of Whitney.
She embarrassed Whitney Houston, and she was wrong for that. She embarrassed, and Monique said it. Monique said, "I told Oprah."
I believe that's valid. I believe that Monique's issue with Oprah is valid. I believe that Oprah has shit on some people too. But guess what? Welcome to the world.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Every interaction with Black women. I'll let you go on for 20 fucking minutes.
I'm sorry.
Why do we just have to just be all benevolent, all, God love you, we got to always walk around with peace and love and joy in our heart when people are constantly shitting on us? No. First of all, we are human like everybody else. So we do not have to save the world and save everybody's goddamn feelings. Okay. Secondly, one mistake, 2, 3, 5 errors is not the sum total of her 20-year career on television. Oprah made space for Black women in media that did not exist. Ooh. They did not hire people who look like Oprah before she hit the scene. I probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for Oprah. If people have not, and Stacey Abrams and all of us who look like somebody made, that's who they thought we were. That's how they treated us before Oprah showed them that, no, you don't have to be blonde, 120 pounds, and 5'9" in order to succeed in this business.
How many other black women did she bring with her?
Oprah Winfrey, damn it, and toss her career away like it didn't mean shit. We would not be in these spaces the way that we are. And all of the women, black women on television, particularly those of us who are not the norm that is espoused as beauty in America. So you can keep it.
I think, how many black women have Oprah
in you like, no, shut up, stop talking about Oprah. Nicole is like, no, me and Oprah real cool. Stop, shut up.
No,
right
I mean, that's listen, at the end of the day, I play this clip.
Right now.
I'm gonna play this clip.
And she like, stop mentioning my name when you say this shit too.
I'm gonna play this clip real quick on Oprah. I'm gonna play this clip real quick on Oprah, right?
You didn't find the only negative.
No, I got a lot of them. I am an Oprah conspiracist.
Yeah, okay. Well, ain't nothing you can say. Ain't nothing you can say.
Okay, here we go.
I'm sorry.
Monique is definitely not staying quiet about things that
the rumor report is your piece of.
No, that's not. That was. I hate it. Here we go. No, so here we go. All right, Jill.
I was white vote. Who had no vote. Thank you, Mr. Lee Daniels. Thank you, Mr. Producer. No, I wasn't black vote. I was up by some that had no balls. And see, I know that I can say, Monique, you talk too much, it would kill me not to say the real shit. You are not paying me equally. You are not treating me fairly. So y'all can suck my if I let one.
Why she said her kidney was failing? What'd she say?
What? She said, no, y'all not treating me equal.
So that wasn't the clip that I wanted, but my point is this, right? And I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna jump off that and you can attack me if you want. Oprah Winfrey, right? Number one, you might say that she serves this symbolism. She serves this symbolism, right? And that's what we do when we know black people. Okay,
don't just make no. Oprah has put skin and work in the game. She has over 20 years of content that proves that her space is valid in this world.
Okay, I'm getting on a point that I want you to address, right? Her content, right? Her content. I remember being a kid, and I remember all my mom's friends and all of the black women that I knew, they hated Oprah because they felt that she was someone that did not respect black people or black women, and that she wanted to be white. And she said she wanted to be white on an interview. She did. She said she wanted to be white, and I'm gonna play it for you right now. She wanted to be white on a Barbara Walters interview. I'm gonna play it for you right now, and it was crazy. And that was
exactly what you're talking about.
I think that a lot of people have an issue with Oprah because there is this this sense of entitlement where if you make it, then you have the responsibility to to pull us all out.
You do.
And I don't subscribe to that thinking. I mean, I think that if you follow the blueprint that you've been given, if you use your 24 hours in the same way that Oprah used her 24 hours, you will make it out in your lane. In your lane. That's just what I believe. So when people were saying Oprah doesn't do anything for black people, I think that Oprah making it out of poverty and saying you can do this is quite the hand reaching back, saying, come on, we don't have to stay stagnant. We don't have to stay in these slumps. We can make room for ourselves in the spaces that are meant for us.
I'm gonna play.
I'm gonna play that whole school in Africa.
I'm gonna play
the school. That's these are big things that she did, in my opinion.
No, I'm not discrediting the amazingness that Oprah has been able to accomplish. I'm gonna share with you this, and then I'm gonna share my thoughts on this, and then I'm gonna jump off. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Here we go.
Gloria is it? My mom and her black girls love her.
Here we go.
Mississippi, and it's the kind of thing that I don't know at all. Or why? No idea.
I was looking at questions because I always I write dozens and dozens and dozens of questions.
And so what I did was I looked down and then I look up and I talk and I look down, and there was nothing down there. But I look up and talk, I look down, and I had Barbara Walters in my mind, in my head, and I got hired. I was hired, and for the longest time, I'd watch you every morning, and I'd go on the air, and I'd imitate you.
I take full responsibility for you, Oprah.
As well, you should.
I remember that.
People call you an Oreo or say that you are pandering and that you're trying to be more white, and you've read all this stuff. Or that you're nicer to the whites in your audience than you are to the blacks.
I used to be very hurt by it, and I used to always think that I had to defend it and always make people know that yes, I really am black and I really am proud of it. And no, I'm not. I'm Oreo at all. I don't feel that anymore. I don't feel it anymore because I know in my spirit that I care about what happens to black people and people in this country.
Did you ever wish you were white?
As a little girl, I wanted to be yeah, I did. I was growing up in Mississippi, and it's the kind of thing that I hesitate to say because when you say it, all the black groups call you and say, how dare you say it? But yes, I did. And I did now, I understand, not because, white is better, but because in my mind then, white kids were loved more, they received more, their parents were nicer to them. And so I wanted that kind of life. I wanted to be one of the Kool-Aid kids. And it's, you know what changed for me? The night I saw Diana Ross and the Supremes on the Ed Sullivan Show, I thought, and so,
all right.
I look back in my life and I think,
okay, and
so
to be here.
Okay,
Hold on.
Take it off.
To the process that has helped me to be who I am. It's something as small as seeing Diana Ross and the Supremes. I remember that I was 10 years old and Sidney Poitier received the Academy Award for Lilies of the Field. And I thought to myself, I'm going to be there. And it's the first time, it makes me want to cry because it's the first time I thought I can do that.
And be black.
And so the night I was at the Academy Awards, I just did this.
All right.
Okay.
So,
and your point is?
My point is this. Oprah wanted to be white.
Right. And then by 10 years old, she had actualized her beauty and blackness. Okay.
Right.
This woman did not want to be white. She wanted what she perceived as the white experience. And many of your heroes,
if you ask them, will tell you the same.
They have said the same thing,
and that has been debunked. Okay?
Right.
Yeah, that whole Oprah diatribe you just said has been totally debunked.
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. And I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back with so much more ammunition. but I don't want to. The reason why, first of all, when I listened to her, she was speaking about black people almost away from herself. When she's like the black groups, I know what they say. She's like, I love black.
Black groups come for you, and
how else was she gonna say that?
When you say the black groups, there are groups that are listening for Oprah to say the wrong shit.
Yeah.
I need some liquor.
She goes.
I'm gonna put some Uncle Nearest in this cup. You hear me? And it's only 11 o'clock in the damn morning.
Wait. Can we talk briefly about B. Simone and what's going on with her?
Who was that?
Oh yeah, I'm just getting hip to her.
Okay,
but I heard she got a little foolishness going on right now.
Well, the problem is B. Simone released a manifestation journal. Okay, so this manifestation journal, what B. Simone said was that by 30 years old, she wanted to manifest that she would have $1 million in her bank account. She releases this manifestation journal. everybody's buying this journal. This journal has sold an unheard of amount of copies. And then it's being reported that she allegedly plagiarized the whole damn thing. Like, you can look at Pinterest. There are journals on Pinterest that she copied word for word, the font and everything.
Yeah. Because she figured her people don't be looking at Pinterest, so they ain't gonna know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull up her so folks can know who this is, because I don't know who this is. Here we go.
She is yeah.
I pulled it up. You can talk about her, man, so that people can just see who she is.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. B. Simone was born in 1990.
Damn, that don't look like her.
Actress and social media personality who is best known for her content on her Instagram account and gained popularity for her appearance in MTV show Wild 'N Out. She was born and raised in Texas. Her father's a pastor and her sister named Jordan. Her relationship status is not known. So she's just an influencer. And what is she?
She's an influencer, but she is, in a lot of different spaces. Selling all these products.
Hold on. This is her.
I want to be in. Don't judge me. I said single, not celibate, okay? I am ready to settle down and find a man, and I feel like he's in this house.
What is this trash?
Little dick number 3, let me see.
Thank you for this opportunity to be in this house. I was hoping that I found
okay.
What is this? Is this a reality show she's doing?
No, I believe this was some type
yeah,
of video
it's a trailer.
that they released.
You're my boo friend.
Are you serious? Only one will make it to be my baby. Oh, I got a corn on that Toby.
Okay, enough. I can't.
Oh God.
So this woman, we're talking about her for what reason?
Leave it to StarX to find the dumbest shit, like to make you look the dumbest ever. Okay.
Who is this? Why are we discussing her?
Maybe he just went from Oprah to B. Simone and scene. This
is what we're working with. This is what people. This is what the media puts out for black women. This is what we're working with. Give me something to work with. I got a billionaire woman saying she wished she was white. I got B. Simone having. I mean,
you had to go back 30 years for that clip. Okay.
No.
Yes, you did. That was 30 years ago.
I want to know. Give me right now 5 black women. These are the black women that we need to promote. People like Angela Rye, amazing, right? Angela Rye. I mean, Jill, don't do that. Well, give me 5. Give me 5 black. Joy Reid's amazing. Joy Reid.
Where is she? Is she okay? I'm just saying, because we all know Joy. I mean, I don't talk to her on a regular, but I mean, she wasn't on this weekend, is as big as
that's what they do. She had her run, and now they're gonna put a B. Simone up there.
Oh Lord!
No, it was a man. It was a man that was on for her. I'm just saying, it seemed odd that she wasn't there for such a big news cycle, and that's why I thought maybe she was ill or she was out or something. I don't think that she was taking vacation.
I'm talking about the promotion of the black woman. Give me positive views of black women that you would want your niece, your daughter, your granddaughter.
Erykah Badu, Stacey.
No, I'm talking about that you see all the time. You don't see Stacey Abrams all the time.
Lately, we have.
So
Angela Rye coming up. I don't know. April Ryan. Are you asking the news people? I mean, give me a lane.
Okay, give black women that are not, black women who are relevant to a little girl between the age of 9 to 18.
Raven Simone.
That's a disaster. She's a disaster.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Raven Simone is one of the richest black women in the country.
If we're judging people worth off of their but so the currency, right? Like our currency.
You didn't have to show her titties and nothing else to get there.
I like that. Okay. Raven Simone, cool. Who else? I like that, Jill. You got one.
Me? Am I doing the whole list?
I'm gonna put May Rain on that list.
The two right, May Rain.
Someone said
on that list.
Haley and Chloe.
No, here we go. Someone said Issa Rae. She's great.
Well, definitely, we love Issa.
Candy.
But Issa Rae also.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Ella May. Someone said Ella May. Even though Issa Rae was advocate.
Her. Her. It's just.
I love her. I love her.
Mm-hmm.
She's amazing. I saw her at the Roots picnic. I saw her at the Roots picnic. And I mean that young girl, I don't even think she's 21 when I saw her. It was the best rendition of Purple Rain that I have ever seen outside of Prince himself. It was incredible. Now the Roots picnic though, that was a piece of shit. Do not, if you go to Philly,
can we just talk about
hear that? I want to hear that.
No. Listen, the Roots picnic, I went to Philly, I paid $397 for the VIP tickets, right? It was a one-day concert, right? So when I get there, first of all, Philly is a interesting city. It's a lot of historical sites, great sightseeing, but as far as the city itself, it's fucking miserable. So then I go and I buy the tickets for me and Melandra. We go and we get in the park. And when we get in the park, I'm like, well, what's going on? I'm thinking it's going to be like a Jazz in the Gardens type setup, you know? That shit looked like a pigsty. It was dirt everywhere. And I'm like, wait a second. This is the VIP? The VIP was an area of orange mesh separating you from the rest of the people, a bar under a white tent in complete dirt. That was it. So I had to go and buy a pop-up tent that I opened up, and we had to be in a pop-up tent because there were no chairs. This was $397. And so I'm like, my God, you don't get anything? It was the worst. And so I emailed them and I complained. And you know what the response back from them was?
What?
Bring a chair next year. So I said, you know what I'm gonna fucking do? Every opportunity I have, I'm gonna tell the truth about this horrible concert. And the Roots, the lineup was a good lineup. But they canceled. The artists were canceling, and they were singing off of a DJ. You had Lil Baby singing off track. Everybody sung off tracks besides her and the Roots. That was it. Everyone else was a fucking karaoke fest. That shit was awful. I fucking hate the Roots Festival, and they need to stop doing that to fucking people. Because I missed Jazz in the Gardens this year. I was looking forward to this goddamn virus. Yeah. And you know, people are walking around. This virus doesn't even exist. I mean, have you driven down Fort Lauderdale Beach or Miami? I mean, it is.
Well, that's why the cases are up to 2,000 last week.
Yeah, I read this morning that the numbers were really high.
That's crazy.
Really
someone said Octavia Spencer. She's good.
Sorry, what?
Octavia Spencer. She's
CJ Rock, self-made. Yeah, was that her shine? That was a good moment for her. Sounds like overtime, but no chairs. Ooh.
No, but you know what? Yeah, they're talking about that bullshit that they do that over. Well, no, so you know what? That movie. Someone said I've never been to Jazz in the Gardens. Oh, you're missing out. Jazz in the Gardens is amazing.
Definitely.
That movie that they did, Octavia Spencer. That was a really weird. Did you see that movie that she did when she was like crazy? Huh?
When she was what? Are you talking about self-made?
No, she was crazy and she was like, hold on. It was hilarious. She was like a crazy lady. And hold on. Yeah, it was.
Okay, L Boogie, I can't put you on Tiffany Haddish. Sorry.
It's called Ma. You seen Ma? That's like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I did see that movie.
I didn't see that.
That movie was trash, and I was so surprised that she acted in that because it was about her being crazy, and she was like stalking these kids, but the kids were the kids of these people, these white people that did her wrong when she was a kid, and so she like was trying to like get revenge on them. It was really bad.
Yeah.
Oh, someone said awesome thriller. Why did you like it? I mean, the movie itself didn't do too well. In the box office.
It was weird, and I don't like weird. I don't like weird stuff. Like I like believable shit. And if it's gonna be weird, then kind of like don't try to make it believable. I don't know how to convey that. But like if it's a sci-fi movie, then make it be that. But you know what I mean? That was just weird and not believable.
Right? Yeah.
It was go back and non-believable children of these kids that tortured you in high school.
Yeah,
that was weird as shit.
What did you think about and before I know we're gonna kind of wind down, but now we're on movies real quick. Black movies, right? Jill Tracey has, and I'm not gonna get on Moonlight, but Jill Tracey is a fan of the movie Moonlight. No, I'm not gonna get on that. But she has the original script and everything signed, and it's amazing, right? However, that the Tyler Perry movie that he did with the black woman who was what was the name of that film that came out on Netflix? His first Netflix film.
I didn't see that, but I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it. It was just recently, the last piece that he had on Netflix.
It was a big deal. It was like his first Netflix movie, and it was about a woman who was dating this black guy. Was she was an older black woman, and the black guy was slightly younger. It was called A Fall from Grace.
I know what you're talking about. I didn't see that.
That movie was trash. Yeah. And so the thing is that I'm asking myself, Jordan Peele for me made one of the most groundbreaking black films of our lifetimes with Get Out. I don't think any other filmmaker, black filmmaker in the past 10 years has done anything that's groundbreaking as Get Out. That was a masterpiece.
Yeah, that movie right there had so many messages. I don't think it can ever be matched. I don't think it'll ever be matched.
It was a masterpiece. Someone said The Banker was good. I like The Banker. It was a solid movie, The Banker was a solid movie.
The Banker.
Someone said y'all should watch Octavia Spencer and Kevin Harrison Jr. in Loose. I'll watch that. Jill, what has been for you the most prolific black film in the past 10 years? If you had to choose one.
Get Out was it for me.
What did you say? You Get Out, right?
For me, yeah.
I don't think he'll ever top it. He'll never top his own movie. That movie was just groundbreaking.
It's rare that I get up from a movie like, wow.
Right.
And that's how I felt. Like it gave me every emotion.
Yeah. I mean, Black Panther, I thought was just such, in terms of something that will go down in a time capsule.
Yeah, it was fun.
Black Panther was just fun because if you're an actual comic book reader like I am, you were a little disappointed. And I pray to God that Beyonce does not play Storm. If Beyonce
already said Beyonce, and I'm praying to God she don't do it either. Like, Jesus, please.
She's a terrible actress.
Play Storm. Yeah, I will never get over what she did to Etta James.
What she did in The Lion King, what she did. I
didn't even see Lion King.
Listen,
she's awful.
Everything. And she needs. I guess it's the check. She's just like, but that's just not her strong suit. It really is not.
No,
it's not. But the fact that she keeps doing it, it's sending me mixed messages.
I would say. Go ahead.
On one hand, we need to understand that we can do whatever we want, whether we're good at it or not. That's the message that I continue to get from Beyonce. It's almost like, I saw Tina, her mom, in an interview one time, and they were asking her like how she deals with the hate, the hate messages or the comments. And she said, my daughter taught me a long time ago to never read the comments. It's apparent that Beyonce is not reading the comments
at all.
She is after the bag, and I don't know whether, you know, I'm torn between criticizing her for this lack of skill that I believe she displays every time she hits a big screen. I'm torn between that and saying, damn, she gonna do it anyway.
Right, because she getting in bags. Shout out to Maisha for her visual here of that's from The Wiz. That was the original poster from The Wiz. You see it?
What? No, you have to send it to me so I can put it up.
She has it. Maisha, it's her little emoji here. I mean, it looks just like it. If that's not it, don't you see it on the screen where it says Maisha TG? The G.
Yeah. What about it? Yeah.
That little image right there, that was from The Wiz. That was from the original poster of The Wiz. Or it's a knockoff of it, but it looks just like
her little. I have it up here. So she said, "Stop spreading a rumor." Apparently, Beyonce is not in the running to play Storm, so that's wonderful. We won't spread the rumor.
We'll be happy about that.
We're all very happy about that. So we won't repeat that.
Because my grandson looked at me crazy, honey, when we watched the Lion King.
Okay, can we just tell a coach here? I'm sorry, May Rain.
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna say I will say my movie, one of them is Moonlight. We'll come back to that. But Marcella Cossier, who said Queen and Slim, that was one of the biggest disappointments of I think of Black film for me.
Slim.
I did.
You liked it, May?
I did like it.
It was just boring to me. It was boring.
I thought it just was the narratives were all off. Like the whole idea of everybody like rooting them on. And I get protecting them, but they murdered a cop and they ran. And there was
the cop was gonna murder the guy.
Yes, it was, but it never but you never got any feeling from them or any clearance from them. They committed a crime, and then all of the Black communities, you know, saluted them, and then they ended up dead. Like what are we saying? What did that say?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I believe that we are not in a place where we'll ever see a survival story after something like that. Like Hollywood ain't gonna let that happen.
Well, clearly, if Lena Waithe couldn't get it off, nobody can.
Yeah, they're not.
But I mean, I just thought
they're not going to allow two Black folks to kill a cop, become heroes, and then get away.
That movie, no. That movie was trash. And if they wanted to make a movie, they should have made the movie on Ashada Shakur, because she got away with it, and she's living her best life in Cuba right now. So they want to.
That was a story to tell.
You know,
that was a story to tell.
But let me tell you why I loved Queen and Slim, because it was believable. Like, it was believable that you do something dumb like that. You just on the run. You don't know what you're gonna do. Like, there was no master plan that came together. Right. But I believe that in the wake of something like that, the community would rally around them. People would try to help them.
But what's the moral of the story?
The moral of the story is I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was.
But Jill has a point though, because what they don't want to show is Black triumph. I want to see a movie about the Haitian Revolution and them gutting those Frenchmen from the fucking belly button to the neck. And like, I want to see all of the gore. I want to see all of the, because they paint their history in such a romanticized view. And every time it's something to do with Black people, they only fund movies that ends in misery, that ends in us dying or sacrificing our lives for their fucking lives, you know? So, and then I'm just tired of that. And so there's been no movie, right, where Black triumph in the area of militarization, having a strong Black military, having a strong Black defense, and people paint the picture of Black Wall Street just kind of being attacked and falling without a fight. Those Black people, the true story of the 1921 massacre was Black people resisting, because they wanted to kill and lynch, erroneously lynch, a black man for being accused of raping a white woman who was an elevator operator, and the black people of that town was like, no, you're not going to get him. And they got their guns and they defended him. And there was actual skirmish that they ran off the white people. And then the white people did what they did back then, and they got the police force to come with them. And that's when the town fell. And so my thing is that at the end of the day, everything that we show on television, even the show they're coming out now, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but they're coming out with a show about John Brown. And they are painting John Brown as this comical buffoon that's crazy. So even the trailer, they keep saying, oh, you're crazy, John Brown, because a white man has to be crazy that actually gets it. John Brown actually got it. And they're painting him like he's a buffoon. And, you know, the best show on television that they took off, and I knew this, and Jill, I think I told you this. I remember that movie that John Legend produced. I mean, the show that John Legend produced on, was it Showtime? The Underground. Oh my God, I loved Underground. And that episode with Harriet Tubman, I knew they were going to turn that show off. I was like, I just watched that, and in my mind, I was like, I cannot believe that they let this on TV.
Yeah.
And after that, it was just downhill from there.
Yeah, it's toast after that. Moonlight, which is one that we completely, Star X and I completely disagree on.
We need a whole show for that one. We're 2 hours, 15 minutes in.
Sada Shakur point, destroyed your argument about Queen and Slim shooting up cops committing a murder. No, it's not the same thing. It's not the same damn thing. Anthony Malcolm. It's not the same thing. Sada Shakur and Queen and Slim, like how? Because they all black? No. Moonlight.
Ooh, Harriet was horrible.
Harriet. Oh yeah, no, I can't.
That shit was like, you might as well. I mean, that shit was awful.
I loved Moonlight for many reasons. Probably Mahershala Ali was the greatest reason why, and I really feel that he won the supporting actor award because he showed a man that I don't believe we've ever seen on film. He was, he was very, 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 very flawed. But he was also very, 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 very loving and giving.
Who?
And because if you had told somebody that, when I was growing, a little boy had told somebody when I was growing up, the drug dealer in my neighborhood was the one that took care of me and taught me how to swim and taught me how to treat women and taught me how to be in the world, people wouldn't believe you. And we minimize those men in our lives, just like that brother whose cousin, and that would bring me to tears. The brother, I want to say, what's today, Monday? So like Thursday or Friday, who was in the streets in Atlanta, and he was talking to a young boy that was 16, and he was like, you all have to do this because we didn't do it. Our generation didn't do it, and we need you. Can't get out here. Anybody who saw it, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so the brother that got killed at McDonald's was his cousin. So just the whole but that was such a moment, and I have not seen that moment repeated as many times as I have seen the brother Rayshad killed. I told Stars, I counted yesterday that I saw that video 47 times yesterday. Right? There's a lot to be said for that desensitization of the death of Black people and the pursuit of Black people that is the counter narrative to what's really happening to us. So please understand, every time they keep repeating it over and over, and this is going to be shocking. There's a whole kind of cops effect to that. People love, and that kind of like people love to see a crime scene and they slow down at a crime scene. You know what I'm saying? Or when something happens, that's a lot of that voyeurism that's happening every time they have to repeat that boy. But 47 times I saw that video yesterday alone. So, we got to guard ourselves against that too. But I think that, the reason why I say Moonlight is because it gave so much grace and dignity to people that we don't allow to have it. In Mahershala Ali's character.
Well, when you put it that way, my goodness,
No, she changed it for me because I thought the film, I have my thoughts on it, but I don't want to get into that because a lot of my thoughts get people upset. So I don't want to start that.
Really? Do they?
Oh my God. I mean, because really, I felt that the Academy, I think the Academy disrespects Black people. And I think that the only reason that it got the attention that it got was because of the undertone of what the Academy wanted to promote, right? And I didn't feel that was my feeling. And when Jill broke it down in that sense, I had to retract that because I saw the value, right? Immediately when she said that, because that is
what
true.
Was the undertone that they wanted to promote?
I don't want to get into it.
You want to talk about it?
No, because it's polarizing, and my views can be offensive, and I don't like being the source of people's like anger. So, like I realize that I just like I like for Black issues to remain Black issues and not to have like additions attached to it. And I think that in many ways we always experience that where it's like, well, it's Black. Like, and I have a lot of friends that I argue with them all the time because I'm like, can we just only focus on the Black issue right now? And then they'll try to like add other minority groups to it, and it creates a problem. And so I think that film, now that Jill put it like in that perspective, I had to rewatch it, right? And when I rewatched it, I totally saw what she was talking about, and I allowed my own ignorance, right, or my own definition of what should be get in the way of that. And that was because once I saw sort of where it was going, I started getting mad, and I was like, well, here we go with this again. And so I realized like I was wrong for that, and that the much larger thing to take home was exactly what she said. And that is true, right? Because so many of our men are flawed, right? I'm sorry, Joe, you want to say something?
No, yeah. And when I interviewed the cast, the first question I asked Barry, the director, was, what happened to him? Because like at a point he just disappears. And you don't really know. They never say what really happened to him. And I was like, well, what happens to him? And he said Barry said he did that deliberately because that is what happens to a lot of young Black men and their mentors. He just is gone from your life. And it just like, in the interview, I was like, I need a moment because that's what happened. I just started thinking of all of the Black men that I could think of that just disappeared. They were just my father. They just weren't there. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, that's it. All those little textural things that we sometimes miss that got clouded in our community over a story about a gay man, about a gay child. You know what I'm saying? And then it was Liberty City. It was like so many things that we should have embraced about that film that I think a lot of people missed, just getting, caught up in, he was gay or got turned out, whatever.
Yeah, I just think that if they didn't have that part in there, I think the Academy wouldn't have boosted it the way that I really think that they fit into their narrative. And the point that Jill took, because she's a Black woman, right? She's an intelligent Black woman, and she got something very different from what they got, right? So that's the value. That was the value for our people. And I felt that Jill was right on point. But for the Academy, it was reinforcing a narrative that they are perpetuating consistently. And my thing is, I put this on, they said, I agree. I just watched the trans community take over the BLM protests and shift the entire focus. I don't think that that's true, right? Yeah. But I think that Black LGBT folks, they have such an interesting dynamic, right? Because I can only imagine, and I don't want to be insensitive. That's why I don't talk about this stuff. It's a very interesting dynamic because you have two minority groups that were historically and that are historically discriminated against. However, the issues with race cannot be coupled with the LGBT struggle, because one, they're not equivalent. They're just not equivalent. Those two things are because this is
let me tell you that this whole conversation is starting to sound a lot like white folks that want to be allies with black folks and say that they don't understand, like your opening statement. I don't talk about it because I don't understand it, or whatever it is. It's the same thing, okay? Trans people or the LGBT community is not trying to take over a Black Lives Matter movement, okay? And the fact that just like, there are white folks that feel that when we say Black Lives Matter, that means that we're saying we want to be the only lives that matter. Right. It's the same conversation. When a person in an LGBT community or my wife and myself say that when we talk about Black Lives Matter, we want to be seen as inclusive.
Right. And that's why the march.
And just like when people say Black love, if you think that me or my wife are the people that come up when you say Black love, we're not that is not the idea. And so it's not the fact that, there's a takeover of the Black Lives Matter movement. It needs to be inclusive. Okay. 2 days after George Floyd was murdered, there was another Black trans man that was murdered by a police officer. Nobody wants to talk about, to talk about that is to take over, to try to take over the movement. And a lot of people that are saying this are not even a part of the movement. Because if you are, then you understand that every Black life matters.
Yeah,
every Black life matters. I'm not saying all lives matter to disseminate the idea that Black lives matter. Of course, Black lives matter, but I matter. My wife matters. All my lesbian and gay friends that are Black, they matter, and their life is no less valuable than any other Black that is killed at the hands of police.
Together. Yeah, well, the march in Los Angeles yesterday. Wow, time is flying. Yesterday, the leader of that one, they painted all Black Lives Matter in the street. Wanted to bring attention to, a lot of times, just like you said, they segregate which one Black Lives Matter, but Black. Listen, I have a friend. I have a dear girlfriend who I would invite to a lot of stuff, right? And that I know she would love, and she would not come. And it just, after a while, it just really was like, okay, girl, what is really happening? And she said that, it's really difficult for me to go out of my house a lot of times, and I'm afraid. She's trans, and she's like, she just never knows what she's going to encounter out in the world. And I was like, okay, I respect that. And then, we hung up, and I thought about it, and I think about it every time I want to invite her to something that I know she would enjoy, that what that must be like. I mean, it's the same thing in some ways. It's the same thing as when I get a middle seat on a plane. You know what I'm saying? There's so much animus that's going to come at you just for existing. That it's true. that you know what I'm saying? That I get it. Listen,
I'm tired of you. No, you gotta stop, Joe. First of all, my issue, right, is everything that May said is correct. All right.
Yes.
What I'm saying is this. The reason why I don't like the narrative when it comes to policy and economics, right? What they have done, what the white gay community has done, is lump the issues together. And then when economic policies come in and there's minority grants, there's minority whatever, they open it up to the LGBT community, and you start seeing white LGBT people receiving the benefits that were earmarked or reserved for dealing with Black issues. And so they hijack it all the time, and then they'll open up a grant cycle, they'll open up an opportunity. And Echoing Green did a report where they start seeing that a disproportionate amount of the funding, once you expand the definition, starts going to the white LGBT community. And now it's under the banner of diversity, and it's under the banner of we are now moving forward with this conversation. And so when you start looking at it, that was my issue. And because you start lumping things together, when you I always tell people, when you solve problems for Black people, right? And I believe I agree with that. All Black lives matter. I love that, right? However, the narrative, right, has mainly been Black men being killed because of whatever the issue is, right? So let's focus on that, right? And then focus on what that looks like, because when you expand the definition, when you expand it, it now starts all these other conversations. And so now we got to have a whole conversation that's now taking us away from really dealing with that specific parameter that we're trying to deal with, right? And so
it takes away from it. That is a matter of perspective.
Sure.
You know, that it takes away from it. It doesn't have to take away from it. It should add to it.
But it does.
Know, the fact that Black people are being killed by police. That is the conversation. So when you start to get people that are uncomfortable with LGBT people, you know, then you get then it becomes a problem. What does that say?
It says when Ed Buck was killing Black gay men in his home, there were a bunch of heterosexual Black men fighting for their justice. Please stop preaching that false narrative. Plenty of Black men are promoting James Baldwin.
James Baldwin. He meant Jamie. I mean, he meant right, James Baldwin.
Yeah.
Someone
who
said
I worship at the throne of.
Someone says Black trans
right now.
Black trans are Black Lives Matter for the Black Lives Matter to be successful. All Black lives need to stay connected and not separate themselves from all other Black lives. We love all our Black people, trans, gay, queers, or whatever. I think that one of the things that we don't talk about is the fact that most Black people in this nation matriculated out of the church, right? And so our social construct had never been very opened. Well, it's true. It's true, Jill. We matriculated from the church. And so most
Black people or Black gay people?
Black Americans.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Black Americans, right? And so there is a uncomfortableness at the root of our people when it came to the lifestyle that now is being, for me, promoted in a manner by the white media that does an injustice to the way that our people interpret and experience the LGBT community, right?
That's a whole nother conversation.
Well, I'm circling around to the point, right? And so what happens is,
I think that the disdain for LGBT in the church was a diversion from the pedophilia that was going on in the church.
Hello.
So what I'm saying is that connection, right? The negative shit that goes on in the church, because the church is a fucked up institution in and of itself, right? We know that in so many ways, right? But what I'm talking about, like reality, like for instance, when I put a post up and I said the reason that many of us don't know of Black-owned businesses is that we're disconnected from our people. Some folks got upset because they took it in a morality issue, a good or bad issue. And sometimes when you discuss things, it's not good or bad. It's just, it is literally moralist, right? There's no morality attached. And so what I'm saying with this issue is that I don't want to get into morality. I'm getting into the actual sort of empirical discussion, right? You have a group that is a subgroup within a minority, right? So you have a minority, which is Black people, and then you have a subgroup, which are Black LGBT members of the LGBT community, right? And so now the conversation needs to be within our people. Why is there a disconnect, right? And what do you feel is the reason of the disconnect? And why do you feel that making this plight incorporating it and highlighting it, right? Why do you have an issue with that? And so I'm sharing my issue, and my issue is as follows, right? My issue is the fact that the white media now takes the plight of the Black LGBT individual, they highlight it in a manner that to me, it takes away from the conversation, right? So now you know putting that guy that was wearing that big dress, you don't highlight Black men in their finery when it's not something that is a part of that culture. So you're not going to plaster a Black man in a suit, right? The way you plastered the Black guy wearing a dress. There has never been a Black man that's been promoted at the Oscars as best dressed, whether it's Denzel Washington, whether it's Idris Elba, or anyone, to the amount of covers that what's his name? You know what I'm talking about. What's his name? The guy that wore the dress to the Oscars.
Billy Porter.
Billy Porter. Give me right now a Black heterosexual man that was venerated on all and graced all the covers of the magazine for being best dressed. So they take something they give
me a name who's somebody who's better dressed than Billy Porter.
But that's my point, right? Or Black woman,
sexiest man,
or Black who? No, you talking about
What happened when they said that John Legend was the sexiest man
alive?
The sexiest man alive. What magazine was that?
Oh,
People.
I don't.
People.
Okay.
I don't know. But my point is that Billy Porter was venerated more than any Black woman that looked amazing in a dress. And you can't tell me one Black woman that they plastered on all those magazines and said, "Hey, look, she's the best dressed and she looks amazing and she won everything." They take who?
Janelle Monáe slayed that award season.
If you type in right now, I'm gonna type in
Janelle Monáe.
Let's type it in, honey. What we typing
Billy
in?
Porter.
What we typing in?
The moment, listen, the moment I want everyone to do this. No.
Period.
I want everyone to do this. Type in Billy Porter in Google and write what the thing that pops up is red carpet. That's the first thing that'll pop up, right?
That is first of all, let's give it some context. Billy Porter came from Broadway, and that has been his whole shtick his whole life, right? His costume designer is one of the best in the world, period. So his whole game has been to slay the red carpet, and he does it. Great applause and style. Thank you very much. So that's why that was his goal, to be the baddest bitch on the red carpet for that award season, and he was. And he won. That's it. That's it. That ain't gonna do it. Y'all subscribe just way too much shit. This is Hollywood.
But here's the other thing too. It stung me to hear that we are a subgroup.
Kinky boots, yeah. Did he say subgroup?
Again, don't attach morality to it. I'm simply saying subgroup.
No, but it's your language. That's what she's saying.
Yeah, but this is the thing, right? Listen. Oh
my God. Shush. I missed it, right? But May heard it because it's a buzzword that goes off for her as an attack on who she is and who her community is.
Okay, so
you said it.
The reason that we're in this situation,
the reason why it keeps happening. Wait, we are a perfect example of this.
The reason that we have to say Black Lives Matter is because white folks feel that Black folks are a subgroup.
Right.
Okay, so this is what I'm explaining, right?
Yeah,
I gave Lord have mercy. I'm trying to explain. I told you before. I said, listen, we're not talking in as a nerd. I am not in any way saying that the word sub is somehow beneath or lower. It represents the demographic.
It's a little piece of
this. I said within us being a minority, within the minority, you have subgroups. That's like subculture, right?
Why are they not the same as everybody else? Why are they just Black people? We just all Black. What are the subgroups?
Jill,
children are Black.
Children would be a subgroup. Children would be a subgroup, right? In the sense of You guys are, you're not, you are attaching
stuff now.
No, you're attaching morality to a statement that has no morality attached to it. It's not good or bad. It is literally
the whole conversation is about morality. Black Lives Matter is an issue of morale.
This is why I did not want to discuss it. I'm literally saying to you guys that the empirical subgroup category is just saying the demographic, right? It's more non-LGBT Black people than LGBT Black people, which makes it a subgroup, just like a subculture. It doesn't mean that it's any less than, it's just denoting the demographic. So if you said
white people be a subgroup of white people,
there's tons of subgroups of white people, right? So within white America, you have subgroups, right? And it was like that for a very long time. The Irish, the German, the Italians, they were considered minorities within the white race, and then the definition of whiteness was expanded, and so then they were welcomed into the fold, right? And so before,
and we followed that.
No,
right. Have we not expanded?
Jill, you just asked me a question. I answered that question in isolation, not attached to this.
But now what I'm saying is, have we not expanded beyond that thought? Are we not just a group? Now, are we not all Black Lives Matter? Are we not at, is that what you're saying? We're not at that point. We're still where some matter and others we still have to, we have to get to the place where we can understand that.
No. I agree with I agree with everything that May said. What I'm talking about is the fact that the non-Black powers that be that are involving themselves within our struggle, they are isolating and separating and making a delineation, and they are creating discourse within our people by purposely separating it, right? So if you're at
if there's no enemy within, the enemy on the outside is almost non-existent. When there is no enemy within. So let's take, for example, you have a brother that is different from you, and somebody picks at that brother or somebody hurts that brother. Do you know how the narrative changes when you simply say, but that's my brother? It's not even an issue. It doesn't.
I don't think Black people, we don't have that problem, man.
Acknowledgement that, listen, these people belong to us. May Rain belongs to our group. May Rain belongs to us. She's not sub this, that. No, she belongs to us.
But who's saying that you don't? But that's the thing. No one's saying that the LGBT, the Black LGBT community.
Stop saying no one's saying it, because it is being said. That's why it's a conversation.
I'm saying who's saying that?
Quite a few people are saying that. Quite a few people are saying that, and quite a few people are not acknowledging that trans people that are being killed by the police. There are religious groups that almost feel that when a gay or lesbian person or trans person is killed, that is God's judgment.
Those people are crazy, right? That is something that is stupid, and those people have mental conditions. What I'm saying to you is that the white LGBT community has an agenda that they are now using our struggle and using our issues to propagate their agenda. And that's what they're doing. I see it very clear, and I don't like it. And I don't like the way they're using Black members of this, because guess what? If they care, they would be sending the Anti-Defamation League and all of the FBI and everyone to really do the work if Black trans people are being targeted. But the trans community represents a very small, very, very small percentage of the population. And because of that, there's no real effort that's being made on either side, right? So I think that for me, I want to see a conversation about the overall issues within our people that will by proxy affect any Black person regardless of their sexuality. But when you start attaching it and talking about it as if they're separate issues, you are diluting the effort. And that's what I
separate issues. Yeah, separate issues. But I think definitely wanting to be seen in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement. You know, I agree with that 100%.
But why
and
do we?
there,
But
there
my
are
thing
too
is,
many there are too many people that are having conversations that are trying to exclude, you know, and that I believe is learned behavior.
yeah, I think that that's wrong, right? Someone put this
otherism.
Yeah, and that's and I'm totally against that. We are all one people, and I'm so the thing about me is that I don't care what your sexuality is, and I don't like the fact that it's always a conversation, because to me it's a non-issue. Like, why are we even talking about this? If that's your lifestyle, that has nothing to do with our issues, right? Like, I don't want, so I get mad when I see the LGBT white community will come, they print these signs, and they do that on purpose because they know that is going to spark someone to go, well, now you're trying to add on to something that is a singular issue right now. Black people are being killed, but when you start saying, oh, I'm here, and you have an LGBT sign at a rally that is directed toward stopping the killing of Black people, you're going to create that conversation, because I'm going to go, okay, now you're trying to now couple this with something that has nothing to do with the fact that this Black man was racially profiled and killed as a result of his race and his gender, as a result of his race and gender. And when Black women die, my issue is that no one really brings that to the forefront to begin with. Like, Breonna Taylor was the most innocent out of all of these deaths. Hers should have been the one that just was like, my God, she was asleep in her home, and no one took that.
In her home.
But you think about it, we have the AKAs, we have the Deltas, we have the Zetas. I was expecting for that, like, these are organizations of women that say, look, I'm here for the Black woman, right? We were founded by Black women. What is our statement? What is our official statement? And what are we doing to make sure that they are investigating uniquely the attacks on Black women? Because they are one of the most vulnerable populations that's being affected by all of this racial shit. And they don't get the fucking press that they deserve. And so when it's a Black man, we want to keep that narrative going. You want to keep that narrative going, because now if it's a Black man, you know, we gonna have all these problems, right? I'm sorry, Joe. We're gonna have all these problems, and now you can discredit us easy and win these cases, because you're gonna start getting the Candace Owens that's like, oh, look at the criminal that George Floyd was. But most Black women don't have those pasts. They don't have past. So now you want to keep them out of the news, because if you show how you really, Sandra Bland, right? When you look at like Sandra Bland, she never had these interactions, and she just kind of like faded to black. It's never the Black woman is never the face of the martyr. And the Black woman needs to be the face of this, because the way that Black women are mistreated by both Black men and white men, that's a big fucking problem. And so now we now start talking about that a system or a group of people where our own women need to have that conversation.
Hold on, I'm listening. Hold on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have that conversation with our women, and that's a big problem, Jill. That's a massive problem.
Well, yeah, because Black women are that dead duck outside your house.
Say that again.
I said, because Black women in society are that dead duck outside your house.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's something that it took V when the young lady we drove over there, we blessed her with some cash from our followers. What was her name? Tammy Jackson. Tammy Jackson had her baby on the ground of a prison floor by herself in the cold room with no assistant, no medical assistance, right? And so you look up, and it took Valencia to have to go and take this thing all the way to the state to give women in prisons sanitary supplies,
because they didn't have. Yep.
Isn't that fucking crazy? And we're sitting here talking. And so that's the thing that bothers me, because it's like Black women need the same amount of protection, the same amount of isolation of issues that we are giving to allowing white people to come into our people to tell us, well, y'all talk about this now. But that's not what we need to talk about, because you're creating the division, because there's not a large amount of Black people saying that we're bigots and we're gonna shut out this particular group of people. Like, that's not even the issue. So all I'm saying is that, you know, we need to do that. But what time do you want to cut off?
That and you know, Oprah is one of those black women.
Oprah
is one of those black women.
Oprah is a part of the power structure now. She's a part of the power structure, and she's an emissary.
But damn it, Oprah is still a black woman. This never upstages anything else.
Jill, someone said go to black media, and black media is trash right now. The reporting that they do. I mean, look at our media locally.
He just said that loud. He said that out loud.
They are. Name me one black publication besides Essence that does a good job. I love Essence. Essence does a great job. The Root is trash. Right?
I'm black.
Huh?
It ain't black.
Blavity.
Owns that shit.
Blavity's trash. And so the thing is,
that's not a publication. I mean, you know, I'll do you one better. Name me 3 black publications.
The Root, they sold.
That's not a publication. That's not in print.
That is. I mean, well, we're not okay, but we're talking
about in print.
The Miami fucking Times.
Mm-hmm.
The South Florida. What you mean that don't count?
They don't count. They still pay. Listen. What is that? Miami Times?
Yes, they did a beautiful spread on me. Can you see it?
Oh, that is beautiful.
That's beautiful. But listen, I will tell you something about the Miami Times. Okay, I'm really glad that that they still exist, having lost all of their, you know, the patriarch and everyone else in the lineage. But I will tell you that the Miami Times is paying people the same amount that they paid people when I got out of college and I worked for the Miami Times.
The Miami Times.
30 years ago. They are still paying people the same amount of money as they were paying 30 years ago. You will never, ever be able to keep and maintain and retain talent like that, and they don't give a shit about that. And it's unfortunate all the brilliant people who have come through the Miami Times, and they worked as hard as they could for as long as they could, but they can't survive. They cannot survive on the money the Miami Times is paying them. And
that
if they weren't
very much
damn
like the state attorney's office.
You know what? They
could sustain themselves and our community. People can make a living writing and selling advertising for the Miami Times.
Right.
They do the least to get the most, and it's shameful. It's shameful.
And they have all those grammatical errors in the fucking paper.
Because they can't maintain the talent. Nobody can work for $35 an article.
Right.
And maintain. Do you know how much you'd have to write?
Right. That's
and then
ridiculous.
more you might have
That's
time to spell.
ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
I got the same amount of money when I came out of college and I went to work for the Miami Times.
So Jill, I was writing for them and they literally did not pay me. The person that was working for them, they told me that I wrote about 20 articles and they were printing them. And so my thing was just be honest and say, hey, look, I want you to write for free. And I would have written for free, but don't tell me that you're going to pay $50 an article and then I don't get paid. Right.
Oh,
so
right.
I never got paid. But when the reason that I say is trash is that, Hungry Black Man is trash in the sense that we don't, the reason why I say that is because we don't produce the publication, because as a media company, that's the goal. Right now I'm digital, but I have the blog and it's successful, but I need to expand it because food, right? That expansion, we're going on our 4th year, but I got to be able to maintain all these things. I have to pay these people. What I'm realizing is 3 things, right? And we're going to talk about that tomorrow about Black businesses and employees, right? We say support Black businesses, but now you have to pay your Black employees livable wages. And if you call yourself a boss, if you call yourself a CEO, as a CEO or boss of 3 companies, every single member of our companies that are employees, they're making livable wages that they can say, I can afford an apartment, I can pay for my bills, I can go to dinner here and there. But if you're paying someone $8.75, $9 an hour, and you're patting yourself on the back and you've been in business for 10 fucking years, that's a problem. And so what's happening? What I see, Jill, is that even when these Black publications do write, right? You see, like, I look at Janae Tate with High Low News. It's just her, and many of her articles are superior to these places that have millions of dollars of investment. And so, Jill, I'm sorry, I want to end it with this. I realize, like, I don't want to hear about what Issa Rae ate for breakfast. I don't want to hear about Michelle Obama farted next to George Bush. Like, how is that relevant? Do real reporting, make and write things that are going to win Pulitzer awards, right in a manner. But then the Black talented writers, like Jill said, they go work for the white publications because the Black publications don't want to spend the fucking money, and they got the money to spend. The Miami, have you ever seen how much it costs to advertise in the Miami Times? It's ridiculous. And so that money's not trickling down.
That's one of the reasons. I mean, I guess I could thank Miami Times for being in radio. Because that's where I came out, and I went to the Miami Times, and I tried, but I was like, I can't live like this. I can't do this. This will never work. You know what I'm saying? And one thing led to another, and God bless Bo Griffin and Betty Wright and Jerry Russian, and Suzanne's baby daddy. Because they all, are the reason why I have a career in radio. Because I was, and I still, in my heart, I'm a journalist and I'm a writer. But it's very difficult to make a living doing that. It's almost like something that you do just because you love it at this point.
Right.
Not on that. If you're not a Ta-Nehisi Coates, if you're not writing for the New Yorker or any other veritable publication, outside of this market, even Essence. I mean, I think the website is doing really, really great, but at the expense of the publication is just not as substantive as it used to be, because just like you said, everybody, everything and everybody is online. So, but I don't want to get into that, tip for tat. Essence is doing a great job, period. And it is on everything.
Essence is doing a phenomenal job. I would say that Essence is probably one of the best Black publications out there,
It is.
And
which one?
I mean,
Essence.
There's a whole other thing that we need to get into about Johnson Publishing, but we'll save that for, another. Yeah. Okay. So we can save that for tomorrow. Something else that you said that I thought we need to save for tomorrow about women, but it'll come to me between now and then.
Yeah. I mean, I think the show for tomorrow, guys, like I said, this is the trial run. So
it will not be 3 hours.
No, that was about this is the trial run.
I will not be here.
This is we'll definitely have May drop in here and there because she's always so insightful.
You drop in, May. No, it's great because we do.
So,
I mean, between you and I, we have so many great relationships and alliances with people in the community. May Rain is one of them. There are just so many, and so it is a great opportunity to be able to, bring us together to have, because this was great. This was
absolutely.
And this is what it's about. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
So guys,
you're gonna tell me where you got that light ring from.
I'm gonna get you one.
Oh, yes, because you are just like glowing like Jill Scott over there.
I'm gonna get you one.
So guys, thank you so much, ladies. May Rain, because she's so amazing, will definitely be at least once a week. I mean, I just love hearing her talk. I love her insight. She has a massive following. I'm sorry.
I said moments with
right. so yeah, this is our morning show. Today we gave you guys a 3-hour special. We're 3 minutes into 3 hours, so we'll knock off the 3 hours. This is our intro. The show is, like I said, we're gonna have some great guests. Udonis Haslam's gonna be on next week, and we're gonna talk to Udonis Haslam about the fact that he has partnered with a Black woman entrepreneur to create a food empire where he owns several Starbucks. He owns several Einstein Bagels, Subways. He's partnering in a new restaurant concept over in the the Brightline station. He owns co-owns with Dwayne Wade, 800 Wood by Degree in Aventura. He's doing some incredible things. And so by having a Black woman business partner and a Black man business manager to handle all of his investments is something that I think is a model for so many young Black athletes to follow, right? So we're going to bring him on. We're also going to bring Spectacular on from Pretty Ricky, who started at Wizard.
Very
talented brother, Spectacular, very talented.
Right?
I like what he's doing with entrepreneurship and being able to grow outside of the music industry. I love that. I love that.
So we're going to have Spectacular on as well. So we're going to have some really great guests coming up. And Jill and I want to really keep current events and then talk about a lot of the things that's happening locally, right? The local elections. We're going to have some of those candidates on, and we're going to ask them real questions, not those bullshit questions that everyone else asks, but we're going to ask the questions that really, really matters to our people. And we're going to get, hopefully, them to be as real as possible on our show. The other thing that we want to do is highlight Black restaurants and Black-owned businesses. And so May, being an incredible creator of products and the Miami's very own Madam CJ Walker, that is something that we want to also promote. So you'll be seeing that. We're going to have Brother Tavernier on, where we have a segment that Jill coined, Assalamu alaikum, my brother. And that's going to be an opportunity for the FOI, along with folks that align with what they're doing leading up to Farrakhan's incredible speech on the 4th. And then we also want to talk about what Al Sharpton is getting ready to do on the 28th of August with a massive march that we'll be attending. I'll be attending. Hopefully Jill can make it as well. And we'll probably be going live doing the show from up there if Jill could make it. Actually, it's going to be in DC. It's a massive march in DC. So we're going to be there. I'm sorry.
When?
August 28th.
August, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Make it happen, Star X.
Yes.
Right. So
my birthday is 27th. That'd be a lovely birthday gift. Make it happen.
Oh man, that's great. So McGrath McConnell, that is a race. If you guys don't know, Mitch McConnell is the devil reincarnated, and he is he's also the Speaker of the Senate, or the Senate Majority Leader. And this guy definitely has to lose. And there's a Black man in Kentucky who is running against him. So we're going to be hosting a fundraiser for that gentleman in Kentucky. So we're going to be traveling to Kentucky to support him, as well as do a story on the pitmaster who lost his life and at the hands of cops that, again, no one really, it just kind of fell on deaf ears. This man was shot dead, literally for nothing, nothing. And so we're going to highlight what's happening with his family. And that's the problem when the media picks up the story. I mean, you literally had, was it Barbara Streisand that just gave George Floyd's daughter stock in Disney? It's incredible, right? It's incredible. They raised over $13 million for the family. And we're really happy that that happened. But we have to really start talking about some of our completely, and not saying that George Floyd in any way was doing anything to deserve that. But I'm talking about the completely blameless Black people, blameless in their lives. And that there's no history of arrest. There's no history of any of the stuff that Candace Owens can use as ammunition to discredit what's happening, right? It's like those Black people consistently just fall out of the media because they don't want to perpetuate the fact that the majority of our people are law-abiding, loving, supportive, and caring people. And the narrative, even when I talk about our business that was destroyed, it was destroyed by a non-Black person. And it was crazy when we saw the camera footage, then the person had white hands. And the moment it was crazy. The guy comes in, he's dressed like a ninja. You can't see his face, you can't see anything. But when he gets in the restaurant, our footage is black and white. So if you are Black, you're going to see those black hands. And if you're white, you're going to see, because it's perfect. It's black and white. He put on his gloves before he starts ripping our register out, and he had fucking white hands. And so guess what? My other business in Overtown with Felicia and Derek was spray painted. Our fence was torn down. We looked at the footage, same type of get up, right? And so we're hoping that we weren't targeted. But my point is that when we put that up there, May and Jill, our own people, I said nothing about race, right? I just put up what happened, and immediately the same, it's always our own people. We do it to ourselves. And none of those people were supportive of the repair, right? None of those people sent $5 fucking or went and bought some.
Right. I wanted to come. I wanted to come and just be there with you because I was just so hurt. In particular because this happened in the neighborhood that I grew up, and it was just not representative of what I see for Miami Gardens. I was so hurt. I inboxed you. I'm like, I want to come. I want to come and help and with the cleanup and something. And I was so happy when I saw the video that you did about the money that you guys received for repair. That's the people that I know and love.
But that's who we are. I never forget. And I text Jill, when you are good to your people will be good to you. And the thing is that our brand has stood in the most righteous space that we can be, and doing everything for our people absolutely free. We don't charge for any of our review. And everyone tells me, like, you need to charge. You give them this exposure, and you do. No, I built this from the ground up because this is my passion. And guess what happened when we finally fucking needed something? We raised $3,000, and it wasn't we. One of our queens set up a GoFundMe, and I look up, and that shit had $3,000 in it. People are cash out me. We fixed every single thing. We fixed every single thing within 1 day. The customers came. We didn't miss a beat. They came, and we had the door still shattered. We had some stuff that they did in the back, but ultimately we had a cash box, and we were able to get right back to business. And the beauty is, we're going to use some of the donations to have a day where we say thank you to our people, and you can come in and get some free ice cream. You can come in and enjoy yourself. And that was just so heartwarming, man. It was the first time. It gave me so much more encouragement, because in this work, as you know, you get discouraged a lot.
Yeah.
And I needed that. I needed that. You have no idea how much I needed that. That showed me, like, and the last point I'll put, on the side, I see all these people saying we need this in our community. Jill and myself came up with this idea for this show because we didn't want this show to be another piece of shit show where you're talking about bullshit, where you're not educating people, where you're not giving people a voice. And that's why we're paying. Again, this isn't monetized yet, right? One day, we will have advertisers, right?
Right.
And so
I'm
go
ahead for it. No, Janae Tate is jumped on. She said she was in earlier. She's over there. She said she was in earlier, but she just came back in. There. She said, hey to everybody. And shouts out to Zoe Latimer, who is just my ride or die down there, who said, you see her. She is just a gem of a human being. I love her so much.
Wow.
They said we do get discouraged doing this work. We should definitely have Janae on, because she
tomorrow. Janae, you want to come on tomorrow?
Janae needs to come on, because I hope to go live with her later, because we get into Insecure, the show.
Oh, y'all do Insecure.
I hate that fucking show.
You, Janae and Funky Dineva need to get in that conversation. But
listen,
I fucking hate that show.
I'm going live tonight on last night's episode.
I say I don't watch it, unfortunately.
You watch it. You gotta
trash.
watch it.
That show is
trash. I binge watch it when I can, but I miss
saying that show is trash.
That show is trash.
But Sunday is my work day. Sunday is my work day, so I never, like Saturday and Sunday, I'm like in the zone. So I miss, that.
Yeah.
And I never get a chance to go back to it. Oh, Jesus. Okay, we're 3:07 and my phone is blowing up.
Nope. Guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. Join us tomorrow at 9:00 again.
Yes, indeed.
So we will be on every morning at 9. And
I'm so excited.
As the show manifests, we're super excited. So Janae, we will have Janae Tate on, and then we will definitely work with May to have her on at least once a week, along with Janae. We have some really great people here in South Florida. So thank you, ladies, so much. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you for
Love
having me.
it.
I love you both. I love you
Love you,
both.
May.
I love Black.